Welcome to another episode of the Bastard Sermon. I am one of your three hosts, Cody Hucker.
Patrick Seda.
And Luke Young.
Luke almost wasn't able to fucking announce himself. He was coughing so hard.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
man,
Luke. Sorry.
I just ripped the bong like as you hit record, but it's a good time. With us this week, folks, we got Anthony Tank Mansfield rejoining us for.
What's up, everybody?
If you guys have been with us since the beginning, or at least the beginning of last year, we do a yearly review going over all our episodes with Anthony Tank Mansfield. And this morning, we all woke up to a message from him saying that he listened to every single one of our episodes last night and this morning. That's insane.
Totally insane. Thank you so much for being awesome like that.
Is that possible?
I was thinking that too.
He listened to clips, fool. What do you mean? Of course he didn't listen to fucking 52 hours.
I was thinking like you listen to 100 hours of podcast.
104 hours minimum.
We have clips.
You guys know how a scrubber bar works, right? Where you can like move
You were skimming the podcast.
Yeah.
How much of everyone do you think that you listen
way,
to?
it's so cool.
A couple minutes of everyone? You put in some fucking time for doing this podcast.
I probably listen to about, I'd say somewhere in the neighborhood of like 15 to 20 minutes per episode to try to just mine some stuff out. There are some interesting things over the course of the year because number one, COVID. So at the beginning of this, listener, like none of us have any clue COVID's coming down the pike, but there is actually a point where, Pat, you're the first person to touch on it. And then that kind of begins the whole year of the Bastard Sermon in the time of COVID-19, when the show goes from being in person to then to Zoom. You guys had a big year where there was a lot of shows without guests, and you guys learned to work that. So I think it's going to be a pretty exciting year for the fans to sit back and listen to.
Yeah, dude. Hopefully, thank you so much for putting so much time into doing this.
Yeah.
You were saying off the mic,
friend,
you
man.
felt like a local show historian, like the lowest level of history, like in the Historians Guild. I don't know if they let you in for knowing all the shit about a local podcast that talks about having small wieners and eating poop and stuff like that. But like, thank you nonetheless.
He's a bastardologist.
Bastardologist.
Yeah. I mean, I do have my master's, so at this point, I just need to get a bullshit PhD, and being a historian of the Bastard Sermon could fill that void.
You really do have a master's, by the way. Like, he's not just saying that for a fucking like, it's not a joke. Like, you come on our podcast all the time to go talk about eating poop and fucking tiny wieners and stuff. And I commend you, sir. Thank you so much. I can't wait to start this off. We were gonna do a drinking game for this, but old Cody decided he was ruining his life with alcohol and fucking put the kibosh on that. So fucking drink along if you will. Did we have any rules for that?
Let's give Cody a round of applause for trying to make
I might fuck this up tomorrow.
Logical, rational, healthy decision towards the betterment of his body.
No.
We've been telling you for years almost.
I'll be back. I'm sure I'll drink again. I'm not gonna put any like hefty long-term goals or anything like that. But I need to get healthy for a little while. Blah blah. I'll probably be back to drinking by the time the people download this episode. Anyways,
whatever. We'll see.
Yeah, let's jump right in. Let's jump right into the.
If you do want to play a drinking game, there, listener, every time in the description, whenever Luke says it's going to be a classic sermon, drink. And for every description,
every episode.
I'm already drunk.
And for every description where you don't know what the fuck the episode is about because the description isn't really a description, do a shot.
There you go.
Luke's descriptions are butt. I'm so happy that independently Mansfield figured this out.
When the description is non-existent, that'll happen towards like
there was
more recent times. The more recent.
Is that like when I was yelling at you via chat and you were just like, fuck Cody and this whole podcast, I'll upload this?
No, it's because when we share the episodes, they're more off the cuff on the website or social medias anyways.
You also don't remember dick about the podcast as soon as it gets turned off. Like, as soon as the podcast turns off, like, your brain erases itself and you just think about masturbating your dog. And
we talked about this before. When we all got in the Zoom chat earlier, that me and Cody forget and Patrick forget like everything we say as soon as we turn off the mics. And
as soon as I leave the room,
chat, like the 2 hours are gone. Everything we just said, it was someone else.
It's like an alien abduction
at another time and place. Yeah. So what I used to do at the beginning of the show, like year one, was I would actually write down notes and then I would use those in the descriptions. And then it was just like, I'll skip through the episode and that sounds good. I'll throw that in the description. And then it just became.
By the way, when
I'm
you
gonna
did
try
that,
really hard to remember what happened this episode and just plug who they are and what they do and that they need to tune in.
Luke, let me just say, I could always tell when you had just randomly clicked like fucking 6:30 in the morning about to go clean an airplane or whatever the fuck you did, refuel an airplane. You just like quickly click through like 4 different fucking like clips of the podcast because it would be the most jumbled hodgepodge of fucking like. Why is this in the description? Like, yeah, well, I guess we talked about that for 8 seconds and then quickly moved on.
I think that's
and nobody thought it was quality. What? Me and Pat would just be private chat, scratching our head like, what the fuck, Luke? Get it together. But yeah, I get it. It's hard to do this every single week. But I commend you for taking the time to actually do it. All right, let's fucking jump right in. Mansfield, I don't know if you know you're muted. Oh, you're eating. Okay. Good ideas. No lip smackery going on. Let's start it up with the 2-year bastard anniversary with Anthony Tank Mansfield, episode 103. So we do this shit every single year, and the last year we did the 2-year version of this. So it's just this over again, right? Do you have any notes on that one, Mansfield?
Same thing.
Yeah.
I didn't write about it just because of that. It was just us reviewing the last year. So the one I started out with was episode 104 with Nick Glavin.
Okay, let's go right into that one. 104, Coprophilia and Poop Brownies with Nick Glavin. Didn't we call it that because we watched people eat poop on the subreddit about
that was
poop
one of the
eating?
most disgusting episodes we've ever done.
Yeah.
That, if not the most disgusting. It was awful. I couldn't even look at the screen when you showed this shit. You just kept pulling it up, and I was like, I just had to keep hiding my face because it was gross. It's horrible. I was gagging, not even looking at it. The imagination did it all for me.
I feel like this was a strong way to start the year off, like as far as like after the 2-year mark. Like this is a solid beginning to it because like every time Nick comes on, that dude's fucking hilarious. He brings the fire with him, brings the heat, if you will. And then we just talk about eating poop, like literally. Like you guys thought I was fucking around, like talking about little dicks and eating poop. The first episode of the year after the 2-year mark is about eating poop. Mansfield, you got any notes on this one?
This one, the hot topic was Nick and Pat talk about being in hardcore bands, and Nick hit us with the one-liner. This is back when I was a crabcore king and Asian.
Back when I was a what?
Back when I was a crabcore king and apparently Asian, because apparently the picture of him, he had like super long hair and so it was a whole thing.
Okay,
that died.
Yeah, that's all right. No, that's all right.
But,
I don't remember it. I didn't go through. I went through a couple of these episodes to listen to pieces of them, but the ones that I really liked a lot. I remember liking this one, but it wasn't like one of my all-time standouts.
That was one. That's how you like. That was your favorite thing to start off the year. I think Gigi the Giant slapping you was like my favorite.
That wasn't the beginning.
That
was before the 2-year.
Slapping the fuck out of you, yeah.
I just wanted to. I'm glad you brought that up because I really enjoyed that slap too.
I had to goad him into actually hitting me though. He just couldn't do it. And even on the last one, it hurt. But
he
did it though.
Definitely wanted to slap you.
Nobody pushed out.
Yeah, I would want to
slap
the shit out of you too.
Yes, and I let him, but knowing his slap,
he's in a room
I knew I could take him. I knew I could take. I was like, that's what you got. I'll kill you, but it's fine.
Wow.
It's like I don't know a whole lot about fighting, but I know if you slap like that, I got you, son. It's over. You better be able to throw like 90 of those in a row without me hitting you back. But yeah, it was fantastic. I got his name wrong a bunch of times, so I let him slap me. But that's not even on this list. You're bringing up me getting slapped just because you like the idea of me getting slapped in the face.
I like that he brought it up too.
It was easily one of my favorite memories. You getting slapped.
Yeah.
That was on the review show last year, you fool.
It was wonderful. Thanks for reminding me.
There's a part later.
There's a part what?
There's a part later in the year where you do something similar.
Where I get slapped again? All right, we'll get there.
No, you don't get slapped again, but you fuck something up.
I fuck all kinds of shit up, dude.
What do you fuck up?
I say retard too many times, and
we'll get to it.
We'll get to it. It's on the list.
All right.
I also remember the Nick Glavin episode because that's when like Kobe Bryant died, and that was fucking huge.
Wait, is that the fucking? Oh yeah, it says it right there in the description. Let me move this thing over so I can actually read the fucking descriptions.
That was the beginning.
Wow,
of
I did a
awful
job
year.
that time.
You did a great job. What the fuck, Luke? You were bringing the fire with this shit. This week on the Bastard Terminal, we have the incredibly talented and radioactive Nick Glavin. We touch on the death of Kobe Bryant, the weird impact of celebrity deaths. Patrick opens our eyes to the brutality as the hardcore band frontman. Damn, Luke, what happened to these descriptions? Did you just quit? You just gave up? Just like, it's another classic sermon, folks. Tune in.
That was peak 2020 depression. Yeah, I had just came back into my parents' basement.
Okay.
I was in a terrible, terrible rough patch with my girlfriend. So I think the depression really hones in my writing skills. I don't know.
Can we get this man some relationship issues? Somebody pour some sugar down this man's gas tank because we need some more quality descriptions. Please, God.
Don't you dare. I have a brand new car. My life is on track.
Go ruin that for him. It'll make our podcast better. All right. Going forward, episode 105, Steve Punk Band Automaton. I remember that these motherfuckers dressed up in full-on stage garb to come in the podcast that night, and it was fucking awesome. I remember that distinctively. Awesome. I was like, these guys put in effort to come on the show today. And I remember before they came on, Ryan, I had hung out with a bunch of times, because he lived above Jack Griffin and shit like that. So whenever Jack would have a party and I was over there, I'd see dude and talk to him, drunkenly try to get him to come on the show, and he's just like, I don't know, dude, it's too crazy, you guys are too crazy. Yeah. No, we're not. Just don't, if we get to the point where Cody drops the F-bomb, Pat says retard, and fucking Luke's fucking his dog in the background, don't participate. Let it fall on our shoulders, and then there's no problems for you and your career. All right. So
yeah, that was a big thing for him for a long time. Both of them, they just had anxiety over it. I'm like, what the fuck, man? It'd be fine. We'll work with you.
And once they came on, we didn't fuck with them.
It was a phenomenal time. It was a great time. These guys are great. Their band's awesome. Fucking awesome.
I love talking to these guys. They were totally. Anthony's great, and I think he pierces a shop. I'd plug it if I could remember.
Cincinnati
Mansfield.
Tattoo.
Yeah, Cincinnati Tattoo. We're fucking Brandon Durbin, fucking I'm forgetting everybody's name. Kirsten and I think somebody else.
There's a lot of people that work there.
Brandon, Alexis.
Yeah, Alex works up there. A bunch of other people we've had on the show.
And then Ryan, he did the intro for Pat's Patio, actually, and he does music commissions all the time. If you want to get some music and you're starting a podcast or whatever, hit him up. He'll hook you up and make something really cool and really work hard on it too.
It's a quality intro. He does a good fucking job. I got to hit him up for, I don't know if I'm going to call it this, but Eric Grounds on the episode I just recorded yesterday said you should call your side shit Huckers Fuckers. And then I was like, this is stupid as fuck. I was like, I love it. As long as Patreon doesn't shut it down.
Stupid.
If I got to put a little ampersand or something instead of the U and fuckers, I mean, cool. I'll make a little logo and shit, and then hit up Ryan to do some. Yeah, that would be fucking phenomenal.
He'd love to do that. That's hilarious. That's so stupid.
I didn't want to do it. I was like, Pat's got Pat's. I said it right in the upfront of the Patreon that I released. Or that I recorded with them. It was like, I'm not going to have a cool name like Pat's Patio. And by the end...
Pat's Patio is also a really dumb name. That's why I chose Pat's Patio. Someone recommended me because I wanted a stupid name. Yeah. And the guy's name is Todd on Discord. I forgot his actual name, but he recommended to me, and I laughed my ass off with how stupid that was. And then when I heard the intro, how badass it is that Ryan did it, and then it just says Pat's Patio at the end, and I just think it's so stupid. So
Huckers Fuckers is dumb as shit. So dumb, so childish, right up my alley.
It's stupid as fuck.
It's perfectly right up my alley. It's just
it's stupid as fuck. You should do it.
Seriously.
It tells you exactly what you're getting into with that show. So thank you, Eric. Mansfield, what do you got on 105? What do you got on Automaton?
On Automaton, 2 reoccurring parts of the show happen on this show. So this is the beginning of 2 reoccurring themes that we hear throughout the year.
Butt sex?
Nope. Number 1, this is the first mention of the coronavirus. Pat is the first person to mention it, and Pat says this coronavirus craze that is going on, and Pat is totally dismissive of it. So, which is, but
of course,
yeah, but this does be so. Here's why it becomes an interesting part of the year is because throughout the course of the year, all 3 of your opinions change on the coronavirus at different levels. And I would say, Pat, you've now swung to be by far being the most dude on the coronavirus. It is real. It is here. People are dead.
Yeah, I imagine Pat doesn't leave the house without a full Bubble Boy fucking hamster ball that he just fucking gets into his
fucking
car.
Bubble Boy.
Just imagine him having to get a running start to his open car door to get in there with that big ass fucking
Hold my breath.
shit. And then he holds his breath for the whole ride
When
to
I
work.
pass people in the grocery store, I hold my breath.
He's got a sanitized 7-Eleven cup with oxygen in it that he sips on the straw of oxygen and holds his breath for as long as he can until he's about to pass out.
I
Gets
definitely
another
think
sip of
so,
clean air.
Yeah, have you guys heard about this coronavirus nonsense?
They're pretty stupid, right? Moving on.
I know that I've been dismissive
I know
as
people
fuck.
who have died from it. It is real.
It really has been a 180 for Pat since that episode. I can't wait to hear. I know he's logged. I know Mansfield had to have logged how many times I was wrong. God damn, I'm wrong a lot because I could feel that coming on. I'll wait for us to get there, but
There's
I've
a whole
changed
lot of
my
that there,
opinion
bud.
every other week on this fucking
Super
on this
impressionable
topic.
Cody over there.
I'm dumb as shit. No one's shocked.
Another reoccurring theme of the year is Doomsday Prepper talk.
That's Pat
Yo,
all the way.
Doom-
Pat's
oh,
always
yeah.
been a
You
dude.
mean
That
talking
is
about the
definitely
show
Pat.
or like? What do you
Or-
mean?
You
That's
talking about the
terrible.
show
It's
or
like
my garage? Which one are we talking about?
my garage? Yeah, right.
Pat, it's a lot of Pat buying guns and Pat buying rice, and this will
I didn't
pop
even
up
get
again
rice.
and again.
I do have guns, but no rice, unfortunately. I would like to do that though. I mean, I'm not saying I think the world's gonna end or whatever, but I feel like if the store, I remember going to the fucking stores when all this shit happened, and I was like, I better have something on the side in case I can't get food if some other pandemic or whatever. Not
Pat-
saying I'm gonna have like a whole fucking doomsday prepper and have some expert grade me and all my shit. I just think it'd be nice to have some extra
So
stuff.
you're
Why are you getting so upset, Pat?
Mansfield, you're telling me
explaining
that
it
within the
'cause,
span of 1 week, Patrick went from passe on the COVID to like, I'm buying rifles and rice now. I need to survive this coming apocalypse.
You never
Within
know.
just 1 week, he was turned around.
By the way,
Pretty quickly, man.
By the way, guys, we're 16 minutes in, and we've got 2 episodes down. We got to start rolling with this fucking thing.
All right, moving on.
I'm sorry, it's a great thing. I don't want to. That sucks when we have to break up the riffs, but we gotta keep it rolling. 106. This is something. This
This was weird as fuck.
This
Wasn't
began
it?
a weird thing for YouTube for us. The Santa Cruz Joker with this is Mansfield's buddy, Eamon Hill and Lish Crossan Hill, and our buddies.
Our buddy.
We love them too, but Mansfield originally got us hooked up with these fucks, and we love them. They run Pigbone Comics. I always love when they come on. And Santa Cruz Joker is like up front in the title, but the interview happened, I think, like midway or towards the end of the thing.
Last hour.
It's disingenuous because he's whatever fucking he's internet
piece of
famous
shit,
right now for
dude.
being a piece of shit, like just being a garbage person that dresses up as the fucking Joker in the streets of Santa Cruz, and he gets fucked with this show Pod Awful, right? So Pod Awful is run by this Jesse guy, kind of also a piece of shit show if you listen to him. Like, I don't have any fucking qualms saying it, like just openly being douchebags to people, fucking with people that are mentally ill, like on purpose to get content. Like, I might say retarded, but I don't mean like when I'm actually talking about someone with special needs. I feel like dude's actually going out of his way to fuck with people that are mentally handicapped to get content for a show, and then calling them retarded on top of that. I'm like, you're really a fucking scumbag. And this Santa Cruz Joker guy seems like an asshat, but he also seems like a mentally ill person that just
Totally
exploiting himself and also being simultaneously exploited and doesn't know how to get out of this fucking hole that he's dug for himself. And he's like homeless and he's a fucking weirdo and he's unoriginal weirdo too he's just fucking crazy, and this dude's exploiting him. And then fucking after this episode, we started getting comments from all their little troll people, all these goons, or they tried to make us one of the goons, the Pod Awful people did. So we started getting these burger review things, and I looked into it and started listening to Pod Awful to see what it was all
What the fuck
about.
that means? Yeah,
It's a Revenge of the Sith thing. Well, you'd have to get into it. It's a whole podcasting hole of darkness that you go and listen to that shit, and you'll see where these guys come from.
Do you know what? Did you?
That's
ever
what I
listen to
remember
find out
from
what
this episode.
What he heard, what he said about burger reviews. I never got an answer out of that. I feel like
Something to do with something that he fucks with people on his show about, and I don't know. I tried to listen to a bunch of his shit. He has like really well produced content that's edited well, and fucking he's got a cool setup, and his voice sounds great, and great mics, and he's just a bag of fucking dicks the whole time about it.
Yeah.
Like, it just sucks to see him fucking waste
Gotcha.
such a good setup by being such a over the top bag of fuck. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Weird blowback, because I remember before the episode happened, I was talking to him on Instagram before he came on the show, and he was saying, yeah, just so you know, like if some podcast may find out I was on your show and they may give you shit. And I remember him saying that, and I totally blew it off because I'm like,
what
who
could
the fuck's
happen?
gonna give a fuck if he was on the Bastard Sermon? Why would they give a fuck, man? Like, whatever. And surely enough, we were getting like 50, 60 comments on all of our YouTube videos. Hey, what's up with the burger?
Because that guy stalks the mentally ill and crazies.
If the dude had like paid attention to the episode and actually listened, all he saw was that we had dude on our show.
Yeah,
if he had like listened and heard Cody like rip on Youngblood, it would have been a different story probably.
I sliced and diced him is what I remember. But Mansfield, you were there. You probably listened to that part a little bit. Did I slice and dice as heavy as I remember it, or is that me just glossing up the past?
You guys were wait, about the Santa Cruz Joker or about the other podcast?
Santa Cruz Joker guy.
Yeah, I mean, it was, it was one of those things where the Santa Cruz Joker, I think you guys are kind of hit on the head. He is definitely somebody that's dealing with mental illness. So it just becomes like a real tricky situation of like what you can joke with and what you can't, and then what lands and what not, because it's really easy to come off as being a bully in that position. And so, yeah, and he just was not the most captivating interview either. Like
so Cody was a bully.
Yeah, well, I think just all around it just wasn't that good. So,
but it sucks that that's the part that I remember, because Eamon and Lish are legitimately good guests. Like every time that they come on, like they're fun people to interact with. Was there fuck the Santa Cruz part of the show? How about any Eamon and Lish notes that you remember?
You guys talked about the West Memphis 3 that popped up.
It's because they say that I look like Damien Eccles, which I've heard my whole life.
Yeah.
Like ever since I've had long hair, there's been a couple people, all girls, always tell me that I look like fucking Damien Eccles. Like, what do you mean I look like Damien? I don't feel like. And then I click the picture and I'm like, all right, I do look like Damien Eccles if he had more
I don't even know what you're
hostesses in his diet, more hostess cupcakes and ho-hos and Twinkies and shit like that. You don't know what I'm talking about? Hold on.
Nah, pull it up real quick.
The West Memphis 3?
No, Damien Eccles from the West Memphis 3. Hold on. Not now, not with the fucking neck tattoos and shit. I'm talking about back in the Dizzy. His mugshot. Yeah, there we go. Kinda. I could see it, but I've heard it a few times.
A little bit.
All right. Yeah, that's the thing that I remember. Anything else? Anything significant?
That picture, yes. All the other pictures, not.
No.
Right.
But the older pictures of him when he first got arrested, yeah.
All right.
Man, look at what you could be, Cody. You're done drinking. You're gonna transform overnight, bud.
Yeah, I could be in jail for 20 years waiting to get executed. Finally, get out after blowing the best years of my life in jail, and then turn into this weird spiritual douchebag that's into like Satanism super heavy. And then I'll do one cool thing where I'm on an episode of that Duncan Trussell animated show that everybody forgets about.
Hey, but he's getting paid.
I guess, but he's just such a spiritual weirdo now. Like he's just so into tarot cards, and he's got like
next episode
practicing magic.
That guy.
Next episode with Mr. fucking Dibs.
One of my favorites. One of my very first favorites and all-time favorites.
That self-suck story he told me was one of the funniest things I've ever heard. Ever. Yeah. It was fucking hilarious.
That reminds me, I have Dibs information, not to share on the podcast right now, but I need to tell you guys later about an upcoming episode. But we got to get those fuckers back on. It was Mr. Dibs and his wife Laura. She was hanging out to wrangle him because like
she was awesome.
We'd never met him before, and she's like, they're basically talking about how he's fucking like he's got all these like mental like issues and stuff like that, and these psychiatric codes tattooed on his head, and like all this crazy like insane shit about dude being a former alcoholic and how he forgets stuff now, and like how he almost died twice, and like how his liver failed and his body swelled up, and
it's crazy.
He just had infinite stories about madness and craziness and just living on the edge, like not in some fucking look at me, I'm extreme, but just like that's who that dude was born as, and he's living that life for real. Like he was funny also. Like, I love talking to that fucking dude. Talking to him and his wife was phenomenal.
He made our intro.
Can't wait for them to come back. Yeah, if you listen to that intro, it's Mr. Dibs' shit right there. He's awesome.
There was people in the Discord that were sharing. You ever see that meme of the cat that's like bobbing its head like it's listening to something that slaps, you know? They said every time I hear that intro, and then it's just that cat doing the fucking head bobbing. And I was like, that's awesome.
Yeah, dude. Happy people like that.
Yeah, I think it was definitely your guys' most captivating interview of the year. It was on par with the first Dana Brunson interview, where there was a lot of jokes, and it was more humorous than the Dana Brunson one, but it was that same kind of feel where like the dude just is such a character and just has so much crazy shit that he can talk about. It was just a really good listen for 2 hours.
Yeah, dude. I can't wait to have them back in the studio. Like, they've got some weird conspiracy shit. We teased on that episode and still haven't got back to it almost a year later and shit like that, because that was February and we're in January right now. So, but they are going to come back at some point. I know that for a guaranteed fact, and we got to touch into more of that craziness and peel back the layers of the onion of those fucking characters, because they are some interesting people to listen to. Shut this podcast off and go back and listen to the Dibs one. No, I'm just kidding. Keep going. 108
stuff with Enemy, Brady Race,
stuff,
and Kevin Vincent.
All right. This is
great title.
We called it that because I get lazy and I just think of poop and butt sex, and then I throw that into the thing. And we made Kevin Vincent. I don't think Brady wanted to watch it, so he closed his eyes. But we made Kevin the drummer for Enemy, right? He's the drummer.
Yeah, he's a drummer. He loved that.
Made
shit.
him watch
He was having a good
porn.
time.
Yeah, made him watch the same stuff that we did in the Nick Lavin one. That's what I remember, and I remember we watched the music video, and I don't remember much else.
Hold on, did Luke fall asleep in this episode? Did that happen at the end of it? Am I crazy?
I don't. Mansfield, you listen back. Did Luke fall asleep?
I could have sworn at the end of it, Brady said on the air, "It's like, is this guy all right?" And he was like asleep or something. And we were on. I think it's on video.
No, I know what happened. Luke got mad about something. I don't remember what it was, but Luke was mad. I think at us. Like we either I don't know. Luke, do you remember?
We do dumb shit. So
I don't remember, but that does sound plausible.
You were upset about something, and you were fucking not. You couldn't wipe it off your face. You were just sitting there like, fuck everything about this. I want to go home. But just sitting there angry. And then, like, Brady is kind of drunk poking the bear, and you're just like, dude, just leave it alone. Like, I could see in his eyes. I remember that's what it was. I don't know what it was for. I'm sure it was something. I don't fucking know, but I remember that for sure. Mansfield, notes? Any notes before we move on?
Yeah.
Highlight of the episode would be, this is the first time Luke starts talking about owning swords.
Oh, really?
The first time?
The very first?
The big reveal.
And let me put it to you like this. Luke just casually drops in conversation, oh, I own like 12 katanas. Like, that's just like some fucking normal shit.
When you watch as much anime as Luke does, you think that's standard. Everyone's just got a fucking, like, a hobo just knapsack of katanas on their back at all times.
So let me tell you right now. I grew up in Price Hill.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
My escape.
And what, the katanas were so you could chop your shoes off the power lines?
When I first went on my very first vacation out of state to Gatlinburg, my best friend Austin took me. We're in his mom's minivan, and we're driving through Pigeon Forge and everything. You know, all those fucking shops. It's got a rock and roll cafe and all that, you know. And we're driving by this shop, and it's got this big glass window. It's 2 floors. I'm sure most of you motherfuckers know what I'm talking about if you go there often. But it is a 2-floor sword store. And in the windows, it had like the plasma sword from Halo. I immediately saw a Keyblade. I saw swords from Bleach. I was like, I need to go there. I want to go there. And I went there with like $300. I was like, I don't care if I blow all of this money on one sword. I'm getting something. I bought like a butterfly knife, a set of shuriken, and a Keyblade on that trip.
Hell
all
yeah,
with
dude.
Price Hill in the back of your mind.
Oh,
like,
shit. I think
those fuckers I got them now.
I got a shuriken.
No, dude. Like it was just there's no sword stores anywhere in our
Pigeon Forge
town.
is full of them. Like every other store is a sword store.
It was filled with all of my like little kid dream weapons and stuff, dude. I needed them. Yeah, it was filled with
exactly
all shitty little shuriken like that.
What you're talking about.
This thing's sharp as fuck.
I won't lie. I went into that store because I know exactly what you're talking about.
Hold up, cuz. Hold up.
You got to go fucking move the brick wall real quick to go get swords. I'm ready for it. Dude, he's going to chop the fucking brick wall down. If you have any balls on you at all, you'll slice through that and walk through it like a badass. What is that?
What's that?
Dartboard?
This is my throwing board that I got
Oh, that's sick.
on
yeah,
that
dude.
same Gatlinburg trip, bro.
Real Mall Ninja's got the board.
I've destroyed it.
Yeah, dude.
Let me tell you, I know how to throw a ninja star like a real mall ninja.
The only time that I've ever thrown shit is there's one time when my uncle was losing his house and was about to get like his house repoed, and he had all these Gerber knives. He was weirdly into Gerber, like Gerber and heroin. Heroin he loved them equally.
Gerber and heroin.
Yeah, and he fucking he had like a Gerber hatchet and a Gerber machete and Gerber knives. Like he had to fucking like they were all survival knives and shit, like some fucking Jay Armstrong shit where you got like it's like a bootstrap and a sharpener, and it's got a fucking paracord built into it.
And a hatchet.
Yeah, and there was
and a
hatchet. So we were throwing them into the walls of his house. He was like, fuck it, dude, I already got the pink slip. He was like, lost my job. Fuck it, dude, let's tear this house up. So I was painting fucked up murals in his house, and we were using
exciting.
his whole wall as a fucking like throwing knife board. But I never bought one. Where the fuck did Luke go? Is he getting one of his swords? I don't want to move on if he's getting another sword.
Dude, I'd be so pissed if I was a fucking gangbanger and I got fucking killed by fucking Luke with a keyblade.
Like a fucking Spider-Man Claymore or something.
You can't even
Yeah.
call your boys for backup, like, and let them know what happened. Like, you got to make up a elaborate lie.
Be honest though, would you fucking try to rob someone who fucking pulls out a giant ass Claymore or something? I'd get the fuck out of there. To be
You got a
honest,
gun?
Unless I had a gun. Yeah,
Yeah,
if I
it's
had a
true.
gun.
I don't know. What
Had
do
a
you
gun,
mean?
I'd blast him. You know.
Yo, don't
Luke
you?
just like cut a dude's arm off from the elbow down.
Yeah, I'd get the fuck out of there.
Luke, what did you run away for? What happened? What'd you get? Break it out. Yeah, what is that?
He's pulling
Is that
out
your
the
Roni
katana.
Kitchen reverse blade sword, dude?
Nope. If you guys have seen Final Fantasy VII Advent Children,
We haven't.
this is Kadaj's weapon.
Okay. What the fuck?
Is it
It's a
sharp?
Oh, I know what
two-headed katana.
What
I've
the
seen
fuck
that, I
is
think, in
this?
person before.
That doesn't look like it would work at all.
Hey, but check it out though, bruh.
We could barely
It
see it.
splits.
Oh, no way. You got two
Oh,
swords
whoa.
in one? That's so sick. Do you count that as two
That's
swords or one of your 12?
No way, this is just one.
That's
Do
one.
you still have that many? You still have 11? Or how many was it, Mansfield?
Dude, I have a lot.
He said at least 12. Yeah.
At
so-
least. God damn.
At least. And if they all split up like this, he could have a sword that splits off into 6 different pieces and is a beastoid for all we know.
That's so dope. That's actually a cool collection. I love swords. I don't care.
Swords are really cool.
I'll make fun of you on the podcast, but I love those swords. Those are fucking cool as shit. Moving on. Episode
right?
Yeah, dude, I love them. Episode 109, comic books and scarification with Ian Robinson. Oh, I forgot about this, dude.
Ian was a great guest. I loved having him on. He had a ton of stories. He's just met up all these celebrities one off or whatever just from his time on MTV, and he just had interesting things to say, and he was a straight up nerd too, so he could keep up with Luke, you know, when he was talking about stuff. So I thought it was a really good time.
I'm
I loved
also
having him
pretty
on.
sure that I scared Ian off afterwards because
What?
I remember distinctly getting coked up like after the podcast or something and fucking
Like right
super
after?
drunk. Well, not right. I don't know if it was right after, but I remember I was on heavy cocaine and I had texted him this long paragraph, and I forget this dude
Oh,
doesn't know me
Cody!
about what a good orator he is and shit like that. And then I never got a text back, and I read it in the morning like I'm just gonna delete that and try to pretend that never happened. So yeah, if Ian never comes back on, it's my fault, guys. Thanks, cocaine Cody.
Cody, come on, man.
Good
damn it.
lord.
Yeah, what am I to do?
You
What am I
just
to
met
do?
the guy.
You've all got a message like that for me. Thanks,
But
either
I've known
Adderall
you.
or cocaine.
It's been a long time since I've gotten one of your sad boy.
It wasn't a
Facebook
sad. No, it wasn't a
messages.
sad boy thing. It was
Is-
like you got good stories, but in like 1,000 words instead of like that
No,
short.
no periods or anything. It's just one long sentence. Or whatever.
Less of a Twitter post, more
Yeah,
of
it's
a
just
blog
something-
post.
No spaces and shit. It's just
And,
Just the
and
You
fattest
can feel the
one on
cocaine
set
sweat on my fingers.
ever.
it's in all caps, so you know it's extra cokey.
And I put in the little star where I say grinds teeth in the meantime, shit like that. Yeah, all right.
Hilarious.
I remember this was a great fucking interview, though. I love talking to that dude. It's
He
one
was
of those
great.
where you say one word and then he talks for 40 minutes and you gotta get in there like you're talking to Adam Carolla or some shit. Like, oh, that reminds me of this story that's completely unrelated to what you're talking about, and just talking a mile a minute, but captivating, not just like crazy person on the side of the highway trying to bum cigarettes, telling you a story about Nam and shit like that weaves into how the government's fucked up.
He's got his own podcast too, Cream.
Do they still do that, Mansfield? Do they still do Cream?
Yeah, man. I'm pretty sure Cream is still going on. Comics for Everything Around Me. He just started the new. He brought back a podcast he did before called Pirate Spaceship. So he's doing that in 2021 as well.
Hell yeah, man.
Pretty sick.
So yeah, check him out.
I understand.
If you have anything to say about this episode?
My cocaine messages scared you off. Sorry, Ian.
Not too much, man. It was it's one of those things where you guys got to sit down and hear a bunch of stories that I've known for years. So for me, it was just kind of hanging out with my friend all over again. If you haven't listened to the episode, definitely go back. Like they said, for number one, the celebrity stories are hilarious, and then two, a really good story about Ian in Africa and being embedded with a tribe.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I forgot all about that. That's crazy.
Yeah, that was a phenomenal time. And he was fucking Fred Durst. I remember that. He was like, Fred Durst was like trying to fight him and shit like that, and then tried to confront him at some show.
Twitter battles or some shit.
But fuck Fred Durst, though.
Yeah, Fred Durst eats a big old bag of dicks, but everyone already knows that. All right, moving on. Go listen to that episode. That was a good one. Transplanted Ascended Master with Will Feiner and Cody Kanar. Oh, yeah, I remember. This was all also a lead-up. This was not only a lead up to COVID about to happen, but this was also Bastard Fest was about to happen. That's what all this was. We forgot to mention that. This whole build up was us plugging people that were going to be on Bastard Fest. So if we go back, like it was like not Mr. Dibs, but Automaton was on the lineup,
on the show,
and Eamon
the Giant.
Yeah, Eamon was going to be on the shit, and fucking like Nick Glavin had a table, and Mansfield had a table come up. So every guest up to this point, this is for the Will Feiner and Cody Kanar. This was also our last in-studio, before our first quarantine, the last in-studio episode that we did. And then we cut it off for a couple weeks. Like, we didn't come back until, that was March 16th. We didn't come back on the next one until April 3rd. So we took a solid 2 weeks off before we released another podcast. And that
we had to get, like, equipment and shit, didn't we?
No. We just had to figure out how Zoom worked, and we thought this thing would be over in a week, and it wasn't. It was fucking like, oh no, shit's here to stay.
No, I was too busy buying guns and Bryce.
Getting whiskey barrels filled with brown sugar and cereal grains.
Preservatives, you know.
Yeah. Oh fuck, Rachel, I don't know how to make chicken tenders. We gotta get a chicken farm and fucking.
You gotta get a freezer.
What variety of chicken is the tender on?
Stupid.
1 month into it, like Pat's just shooting people for fucking honey mustard sauce.
Yeah.
Old Mickey D's packets.
Yeah. No, I'd kill for honey mustard.
I remember that stuff, but what about the actual guests that we had on? So Will Feiner was the dude. Is he still doing his shit?
He's still doing Transplant
Absolutely. Yeah. So hopefully we'll be doing
the poster.
You can tell how much Cody's. Oh yeah, he's off Facebook.
I don't have Facebook, and I don't fucking pay attention when I was on it. I was just write shit drunk.
Yeah, he's still doing it. He's trying to get Transplant Music Fest going and shit. So hopefully that clears up by the time he gets that planned out.
Yeah.
But Cody Kanar was on the episode.
May or may not sponsor.
Yeah, we don't know yet. We'll figure it out. We're working on it. But Cody Kanar was fucking awesome too. He's hilarious, and his band was the shit. He did a bunch of artwork for the poster. I remember that, and he gave us like an original for it, which was really cool.
It was awesome.
Cool. Yeah, I love talking to them.
It was a good old time.
Cody's art design is super like
metal.
Gee, thanks guys.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, but it's like a crazy horror-esque type of feel.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
It's really cool.
All right.
Yeah.
Sick.
Wait, the reoccurring theme. Cody just completely dismisses the coronavirus altogether.
That would be a big reoccurring theme moving forward.
I did that later after I got it too, because
you guys also watched coronavirus porn this episode.
Oh yeah, did we?
Oh, it must have been that sick ring-looking girl sucking the dick of that dude in the biohazard suit.
Yeah, that's what it was. I remember it. Yeah, and then there was another one with the fucking where it was just her in a nurse outfit and somebody had a mask on or something like that. Yeah, I remember that.
It was so taboo.
Was there anything else before we move on to the Corona Tiger King quarantine?
Let's move on.
That was the big one. Yep. And then episode 11. Yeah. So this is the first time you guys are Zooming.
And then did you confirm? No, I'm sorry. The closet it comes up. We'll talk about that in a minute in 2 episodes. But
the closet. This
is when we figured out Zoom. So how do we sound? Was the quality dog shit compared to the Zooms that you listen to now? Like everybody's used to a Zoom podcast now. Yeah.
Yeah. It's fuck. Everything's terrible. Pat sounds like he's in a fucking wind tunnel, and Luke sounds like a fucking stuttering robot. Like it was awful.
Is it better now? Is it bad?
Oh, dude, yeah, it's way like everybody's figured it out now. It's way better. Yeah, it's definitely better. But yeah, even then, I'm just giving you guys shit. Those episodes weren't terrible, but there are definitely times where just everything goes to shit.
Oh, I remember. Yeah, it really made me start hating podcasting. I was telling Mansfield in a private message, you could graph my apathy towards podcasting on the fucking, like, the quarantine, like, going from, like, the top of the, like, waiting for Bastard Fest, like, loving podcasting, all the way into, like, the first like Zoom quarantine. And then I like kind of got excited because when we got back, it had been 2 weeks and we hadn't take that much of a break off in 2 years. And then I was like, oh, fucking now we got a new thing to figure out. This is going to be cool. And I was doing like photoshops and like really gave a shit about like what the thing looked like. And then as we kept doing, like as you move through the quarantine, you just feel my energy draining for doing podcasting this way. Because this is, I mean, even now, a dog shit way to do a podcast. I don't know. Can't wait till the vaccine is distributed and then fucking Pat unbolts his windows and his doors and like takes all those fucking weird like
get the booby traps away,
6-inch steel fucking like grates off.
Call the dogs off.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
returns those German shepherds that he bought in case anybody gets 6 feet away from him, and then he sticks the German shepherds on them to rip their face off. But
Pat's house is basically a mix of like The Purge and Home Alone right now. Is what we're trying to say.
Yeah, watch out. Watch out. Bear traps and shit.
Christ. Yeah, dude. Well, I remember we called it this because it was the coronavirus quarantine, and Tiger King had just became popular. Yeah. And
I loved it. I loved everything about it. I watched it like 5 times in a row. Like I watched it a fuck.
Yeah, you did. It was really good.
I loved it.
But everybody's talked about it till it's blue in the face.
It was as if it was some sort of TV show. Like it was like about the the makings of a TV show, but it wasn't. It was like something that really happened somewhere in America.
It's so outlandish. So you're like, is this even real? This is real.
And then you find out like dude was just always a menace like on the local television like channel. Like it was almost as if it was a real life Trailer Park Boys type of deal, you know?
Did you hear that he has a limousine on standby because he thinks Trump's going to pardon him out of prison? How stupid is that?
God damn it.
Trump already forgot who that fucking guy is.
The pardons only are like for federal crimes, as far as I'm aware. But when it comes to state crimes, pardons don't do shit. So I'm pretty sure what he got charged under was state crimes. So he's just a fucking idiot for what he's doing there.
Wasn't he charged for like murdering tigers?
Yeah, conspiring to murder and all that.
I don't know is that a state crime, murdering tigers?
Let's
animal abuse, you know.
Go with whoever's most confident on the answer because I don't feel like googling it. So
I don't know. Whatever. I
yes.
don't know the full situation. So maybe...
I don't think you can murder a tiger. I think it's in self-defense. If a tiger's coming at you, you can stand your ground.
Yeah, you can't just put them out of their misery and shit.
Yeah, what are you supposed to do? Just sit there and let it bite you?
I mean, my favorite scene in the whole series was him trying to film that promo in the tiger den, and then like the 3 of them just start attacking him and
yanking his leg and put him on the ground.
He's just like screaming at him and firing off his revolver, just like, "Get out of here, you son of a bitch!"
Yeah, there's just a guy filming, like not helping at all, like just doing the same thing.
No one helped him.
No one gave a fuck.
They filmed.
Do it.
He got dragged by his boot, and then he had to shoot into the air to scare the tiger off while they're all fucking encircling him. Yeah, that was nuts.
Oh my god!
And they said that he was
like
unbelievable.
He was like Denzel at the end of Training Day. Like nobody gave a fuck. He was on his own.
Yeah, dude, 100%.
Yeah,
all right, Sheriff Seda. Oh, I'm sorry.
Wait,
go ahead.
So interesting parts about this episode. You guys talk a lot about the future on this episode. So Luke correctly predicts that the DNC will pick Biden for 2020. And Pat is not on board with this and calls him a creepy and whispering to children.
He totally was. Those videos were creepy as hell. Now I don't think that way anymore.
Oh, when I
mean,
pointed that out, though,
the whole videos were creepy, but like
they're still creepy.
Like a pedophile now.
Why not?
You guys were Bernie Brown at heart.
Creepy videos.
I still think he's probably a pedophile.
I really wanted Bernie to win,
but he's way better than Trump.
He threw it in for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Sorry, and other reoccurring themes. So coronavirus is officially here. Luke and Cody both own up to the fact that they were dismissive about it and they didn't take it seriously. Pat is fully on board, and this is very serious, which then turns into Doomsday Prepper talk.
What was the Doomsday Prepper talk? What do you remember any specifics of what Pat was getting, or what we were all getting?
He was buying more guns, and then you were thinking about a gun, and then Pat was like, "You should really buy a gun,"
because they're all going to be sold out. I mean, think about 2020. They're going
to be
you can't get ammo anywhere.
Shut up.
No, totally.
Shut up.
Yeah, hey, hold on, Luke.
Sold out
it's true. That totally thing can happen. I couldn't find ammo for months. I ordered it before the election happened, and it didn't get to me until after. Make my own. Okay, let me just get the gear to do that when it's already sold out, bro.
That's the thing about those doomsday dummies. Like, what happens when you run out of bullets? Like, do you know how to
make your own?
Make more
Get
bullets?
a stick and sharpen it.
Yeah, but what happens when you run out of supplies? When we say make more bullets, you're like, yeah, of course I know how to fucking fill a shell with the actual lead and yeah, but what happens when you run out of all that shit? What then? You know how a forge works, man?
Then you make more gunpowder, Cody.
Yeah,
get a
blacksmith. Know where gunpowder comes from? A simple formula.
You watch blacksmith stuff on YouTube.
What YouTube, bitch? It's the Doomsday. Do you think there's a YouTube and an internet?
Just watch the anime Dr. Stone.
Shit.
So far, the Bastard Sermon's got a pretty good Doomsday prep team with Patrick on the guns and Luke over here with the melee weapons.
What about me? Am I always prepped up for Doomsday?
I don't know what the fuck you're bringing to the. I don't know what you're bringing.
He's got
to the
like a fucking
jokes.
pan.
He's the distraction for when we get swarmed.
Yeah.
He's the body shield, you know.
Cody, I heard the liquor store restocked today, and I'm too drunk to realize it's the Doomsday and they don't restock, and I'm wandering into town while they're fleeing.
When there's an emergency, we'll tell Cody to go the other way and say, "Hey, scout ahead that way," and we'll see if he goes. Then we'll bolt.
Cody would be like that dude in Zombieland looking for the Twinkie, but instead he's looking for like the last PBR or something. Just the last tall.
The last PBR. All right, give me whiskey. Like, give me at least whiskey. I'm not that sad. I would be pretty stoked about a hot can of PBR in the middle of the apocalypse. That'd be so sick. All right. Going forward.
Next.
Episode 112, Sheriff Seda. Here, I'm going to call this right now. More of the same.
More
of the same. What happened on this one? I don't remember this one.
Oh, this is a nickname change. I'm pretty sure he requested another nickname change, I think.
Another nickname?
Where the Big Butter came in? Or Big Cheese?
Pat is now following all COVID protocols and is talking about buying chickens.
I like the full updates you have on me. Am I in court right now? What's going on?
No, you're just a
12:42 p.m. Pat did this, and
no, you can't keep your feet on the ground, bud. You gotta hold a stance.
This one was just a lot of you guys talking about random pop culture topics. There wasn't a big through line through anything. Luke admits his love for the movie Biodome with Pauly Shore. Cody shits over this, and Pat also shits over Pauly Shore. So you guys are definitely a house divided.
Pauly Shore rules, and Biodome is one of the most solid films of all time.
Yikes.
All right. Well, I'll just let you live with that for the rest of forever. I'm not even going to dispute it.
We'll end with that
you.
one.
Yeah, okay.
Dude, it is. It's so good. It's so funny.
Okay. All right, moving forward, the madness of McConaughey. More of the same, and I feel like this is when you start to really feel my love for Zoom really dipping down low, because I remember hating it by this point. Like, oh man, this sucks dick. When are we going back to the studio? Was I nonstop bitching the whole time about going back to the studio? Like,
I was getting asked all the time.
You still do. You still do.
Yeah, I'm always trying to sprinkle it in there.
I just accept that we'll never see it again.
Never
we'll
again.
see it when we see it.
I'm sure that it'll never happen ever again, but I like to keep
probably
faith in my heart, like Jesus. Go ahead, Mansfield.
I rank this as my worst episode of the year. This episode is dog shit.
Yeah, and what makes it dog shit the most? Can you? Oh man, I love a nice dog shit episode to talk about. Let's talk shit about us for a change. What happened?
Number one, Luke's description.
Yeah,
Another
this description
They're
hot
stuck
shit.
inside Sunday episode with the bastard sermon. Just like you guys. Why did you click anything?
Because it said see more,
Another
you fucking
socially
fool.
distanced Shut the fuck up.
I'll never do
Another
that.
socially
Shut the
distanced
fuck up.
episode of the bastard sermon. Stay safe with us and be mindful of people's hands and beware, McConaughey. As the virus continues, so do our sermons.
Yuck.
All you guys talk about is just what you're binge watching right now as you're sitting in quarantine. So, yeah, that's about it. But I have to say, this is big. This is the first mention of the closet.
Is this when we first started breaking
something
Luke's
came out of
balls?
that.
The closet's still there, right behind you, right before your eyes right now,
It's in the
Mansfield.
room.
It's just his girlfriend got him a fucking, or your mom, I don't know, somebody.
Yeah.
Somebody got you a fucking little poster you can hang up now behind your head, so you don't have to worry about it.
No,
You
it's
got
like a whole backdrop. Like it could be used for a green screen or anything.
or a
like
Band-Aid for your
stage
hoarding
stuff.
problem. A Band-Aid
that
for your
too.
giant disease-like hoarding problem. Yeah, no, I understand.
The closet's presence still known.
Your
you
whole
know,
sword
I feel
collection's
it.
in that closet, and you try to act like it ain't your shit in there. Yeah, it's a
So
mess.
what starts this is you guys are just having regular conversation. All of a sudden, Cody goes, "Do you have 8 katana boxes just chilling in your closet?" To which Luke then just starts showing the boys his katana collection and talking about an $800 katana.
Yeah, dude.
You got $800 katana?
Jesus Christ.
It's the backward Sasaki or Sasabi.
fucking
something
uncultured
like that.
I know
swine,
what you're
Cody.
talking
The
about.
Varuni
Fucking
Kenshin
joking?
sword that my dad had spent the most money on.
Did he have it fire forwards by a samurai by getting into a fucking time machine or some shit and like actually bringing it to an Edo era? Why did you pay Why did he pay
I know within the
$800?
scabbard. Within the scabbard, it does have a deposit of a sword oil to preserve the actual blade. So
What is sword oil? Is that just vegetable oil that they sell you
no,
for
there's
$800?
like an oil that you rub onto your sword after like grinding it and making it
Sounds
sharper
sexual.
to preserve it.
Yeah.
Sounds very sexual.
Super sexual. It's super hot and erotic.
Is
yeah.
there? Is there?
Stupid.
I feel
I-
like your dad got sold an $150 sword for $800. I think that's what happened.
An
Yeah.
$850 sword for
What's that, Mansfield?
$800.
I said a $150 sword for $800. Sorry, Mansfield. This is why I hate Zoom because I can never tell. Go ahead. Sorry.
That's okay. I think that $800 breaks down to $100 for the sword and $700 to kill a guy who's brought in via human trafficking.
Oh God.
Who
you're
is paying
probably right.
$800 for a fucking sword?
Yeah, dude, that's insanity.
What if you want to
That's
get a
stupid money,
real
bro.
one? They're that expensive, if not exponentially more.
Okay.
I believe that.
No, I'm cool.
Moving on.
And that is so serious. Yeah.
Fuck getting a real one. Sean's got a replica of the Kill Bill sword.
If
like
you want
quality
check
replica.
out this Instagram. Check out this Instagram called Kiryu Crafts. He's a legit blacksmith and he handcrafts all the hand like guards and everything. It's really fucking neat.
That's fucking sick. All right, well, dog shit episode.
Yeah, Kiryu Crafts.
What makes it the most dog shit for you, Mansfield? Is it just like our lack of giving a fuck at all?
It's just you guys are just. I think it's the beginning of COVID. Everybody's fucking stressed out about that shit, and then there's really nothing to talk about. And you guys are just kind of like, I'm binging this TV show, and that's kind of the entire episode. So I think you have to, when you look at it, it helps if you look at it in the context of that, of where it was in space and time. But in terms now of listening to it not in that space and time, it's just not a good episode.
I hear
True.
you. I'm with you. My 600-pound quarantine life. I feel like it's just more of the same again. Like, is there
Yeah,
anything?
I think so too.
Yep.
There's no way that it's exciting. Let's just move right on past that. I did an all right Photoshop. I was doing good Photoshops up until the next one. Why is everyone picking on? Oh, go ahead. Go
Wait,
ahead.
we did get one interesting tidbit out of that episode. Pat casually drops that he has 36 first cousins.
Yeah, I have a ridiculously huge family. I have a ridiculously huge.
But they're
family.
36. Is that a real number?
Yeah, I have absolutely. I'm Italian and Irish, and they have huge families.
And all they do is fuck without protection.
They have 10 kids on I have 10 aunts and uncles on both sides, and they all have a shit ton of kids. It's ridiculous. Yeah, it's crazy. I see family all the time out in the public.
Is it all just Tommies and Tonys? Like what?
There's a lot of Patricks. I'm one of 6 of those.
Oh, I forgot about the Irish aspect of it. Yeah.
I can't believe they let that fly. Like as big
dumb.
as they are, but as close as they are, they're like, yeah, I'm gonna name him Patrick, and they're like, oh my god,
what was the line from Goodfellas where she goes to the wedding or whatever, they're about to get married, and she's like, all the men were named this name and that name, all the girls were named this and that name. It's like that with Patrick's cousins.
Yeah, well, my mom's name's Patricia. My dad's middle name is Patrick. My dad's born on St. Patrick's Day. I have 3 Aunt Pats and 2 Uncle Pats, and
one time I got fucked by a leprechaun.
Basically, that's what it feels like.
Allegedly, if you look at all of the Seda family's Pornhub history, it's just cream pies.
Oh god, that's disgusting.
Oh man,
what the fuck?
Your dad was dropping some seed. Yeah, get it in there.
God.
All right, any other tidbits before we move on?
No, that was Luke's connection is the dog shittiest of all time on this episode. So if you want to hear peak robot, just terrible reception.
Yeah, that seems like what people want to go back and listen to.
You know what? That was probably when I tried to record at my my Gundam desk, and I was using my iPod earphones, the wireless Bluetooth ones, and yeah.
Well, thank fucking God we recorded that for posterity. All right, moving forward. Episode 115. Why is everyone picking on James Inman? All right, this episode
is the angriest guy ever.
Yeah,
he's angry about everything.
This is a real inside baseball podcast. It's you'd have to know who James Inman is and know Doug Stanhope and Doug Stanhope's podcast specifically. This was just for me, basically. Like, I recorded something that everybody had to listen to for myself because it was a podcast that James, and selfishly so, and I don't regret it for a second because having James on is just a fucking disaster every time in the best way.
He's so funny.
He's a fucking maniac.
His freakouts are hilarious.
I love him freaking out, and whenever he tries to paint himself like a fucking hero, like James Inman must just look in the mirror and see Superman, the full head of hair and just a big fucking J.I. on his chest, and he's the funniest comedian of all time. And he's just the schlubbiest fucking meth head looking truck driver hat wearing fucking disheveled comedian you've ever seen in your entire life. And he's like Stanhope's fuck around wind up toy. If you want to explore that episode and everything that's about, Luke puts it into the description because you have to. You have to fucking listen to it. Stanhope fucks with Inman on a Zoom thing when Zoom was originally a thing. And then he never has James back on his podcast to describe what had happened. And the whole inside joke is they're fucking with James on purpose, acting like he can't actually talk and shit. So I had him on the Bastard Sermon to fucking talk to him about that experience. And for me, it was fun, but outside listeners, you might not enjoy it as much if you don't know that world. Mansfield, you got notes? Or Pat or Luke, do you have any comments on it?
No, that was it. I'm right on.
No. Yeah, that was about it. He was angry.
Yeah, sick. All right, moving on. Neil Higginbotham, Hail Dark Aesthetic, one of our sponsors. I fucking love this guy. He was a good one. I feel like this was a good Zoom. It took 20 minutes to get into it for us to find a groove, especially through Zoom. But I think once we hit the groove, it was a good episode. I remember it being a long one too.
Every time he's on, it's always a good time. I love that dude to death.
This was the first time we met this guy. It was through this Zoom podcast, and he was doing it from Hail Dark Aesthetic. It was fucking awesome because he's he was just talking to us for a while, and then when we're asking more questions about what's the shop like because we hadn't been in it at that point, he picks up his iPad and starts walking us through the shop and showing us all the cool shit. It was really. It's a good time. That was the first time we started doing Nicolas Cage trivia, that we were going to make it a regular thing and shit like that.
One episode Nicolas Cage thing.
Yeah, dude. It was a good fucking time. What else we got on that one?
I was going to say it was definitely a light in the storm. After a bunch of really rough episodes, this one came through and was solid. We get a really good the whole Hail Dark Aesthetic backstory, and also Pat cooks. And you guys shit all over him, but Pat actually grilled a bunch of good stuff that weekend when he was camping.
Nice. I forgot about that.
That's right when I started it. It's awesome. I love grilling.
I love that, and you guys shit all over him too.
Anytime it comes to food with you guys, I get shit on.
Yeah, I actually
because you made high-end seasoned chicken tenders. I'm supposed to pat you on the back.
It's a start.
You added.
It's a start.
You added some table blend to your Tyson chicken.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, that one was a good time.
I'm a fucking terrible cook, so I'm right there with you, Pat. I can grill, and that's about it. So
I can make steak and potatoes, and that's it for me.
I'm sorry, by the way,
Talking
for
all
sending
that
you an
shit.
8-page fucking Facebook message about, like all my messages, about how to sear a steak. I was like, oh, yeah, my long pontification on the podcast wasn't enough. Here's a whole book that you're not going to read. And you're like, thanks so much, dude. I really appreciate this. In my drunken state, I was like, yeah, I bet he does. And I woke up the next day like, no fucking way, Cody. Not again. You did it again, man? Gross. All right, moving on. Talking movies with Jeff Tate. We had Jeff Tate back on the podcast. I remember it being better than the first time Jeff Tate came on.
This blew me away, this episode. Well, actually, I think I bring it up on the next one, but or at least maybe to you guys off screen. But the week, or like the day after, or off mic, I mean, the day after Jeff Tate, episode 117, YMH.
Nope.
Your mom's house.
Nope.
What?
It
No.
It was the first time that we had him
It was
on.
the first time.
Which was
really?
before
Oh,
this.
Yeah, it was on
okay,
your
then.
mom's house like a week after
This
our
is
show.
during
That was really
quarantine.
interesting.
Yeah, that was fucking nuts.
This is when we
It
had
was super
Tate on
crazy.
via Zoom or whatever, and we were talking to him on Zoom.
Oh, okay,
He seemed way more forthcoming that time. Like, he didn't seem like he wanted to do a podcast the first time that we talked to him.
Yeah, he was twiddling his thumbs a whole lot and just wanted
He
to smoke
didn't
a lot
want
of
to be
weed or
there.
whatever.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
I hear
Well,
that.
whatever. He's a cool dude. I like him.
Yeah, he's a
Well,
great comedian.
Or wait, no. What were we gonna say, Mansfield?
you guys just kind of figure. I think you guys figure out the formula with him on this episode, because the whole thing is just you guys talking movies, and it's good.
That's what he
because
wants to
that's
talk
his
about.
wheelhouse. Yeah, and it works out well because you guys actually get pretty deep on some stuff and actually talking about some cool stuff involving shots and shit like that, dialogue, exposition, all that kind of stuff. So it was actually a pretty cool episode.
Got to figure out how to talk to some people. It's like there's something here. I know there's a chunk here, but talking to you about comedy ain't gonna work. You want to do comedy. You don't want to talk comedy. You want to talk fucking weird movies. All right, let's do that. And it ended up working out. All right, going forward, this one was kind of cool. Not the last half necessary, or the middle half. The last half was good. The first part, Johnny Fairplay. Pat, tell us about this one. You set this shit up.
Yeah, I'm a huge Survivor fan as of lately, and I decided to just, why not try to message some of these people? Maybe they'll come on the show. And I think this is when we started getting like bigger people on the show, because I just would randomly message them. And he answered, and he said he would come on. And he was like, I'll come on for like 10 minutes or whatever. And I'm like, sure, why the hell not? I just want to ask some weird questions about the show because I'm obsessed with it. And he came on, and it was really fascinating. The guy's got a fuck ton of shit to talk about. He was a pro wrestler. I don't know if that Mile High story he said actually happened. It sounded like bullshit, to be honest. But I don't know if you guys felt the same way.
Who knows?
Did you think so?
I have no fucking
Maybe.
idea, dude. I saw a video of
I
a dude
don't
cook-
remember that story.
Oh, it was like a whole thing. He said like he was sitting in an airplane, sitting in like or whatever the top, first class, and some girl saw him on the picture of like Life magazine or something. She's like, "Is that you?" And he's like, "Yeah, meet me in the bathroom." And then he said he fucked her like 4 times. I don't remember the whole story, but he said something like that.
Yeah,
and I
that
was
sounds like bullshit.
Okay,
But he
okay, bud.
But he said on that episode, "Yeah, I'm playing the heel. That's what I do. This is what I." So whenever you listen to a story from him, it's like I don't know if it's true or not. Maybe it doesn't
True.
sound super unbelievable, but it does sound like in tune with who his character that he's playing is, and he knows how to. It seemed like he knows how to play himself real well. Since we wanted to actually talk to him about that, and not
was
be
great.
talk to Johnny Fairplay from Survivor. We're like, come on, dude, let's just fucking talk as human beings. And then you kind of see that side, like, oh, he's playing a fucking heel, like the Andy Kaufman thing. He's doing the Andy Kaufman, like playing
It's just
it up
what
for
he's
the.
known for,
And then we had Canyon on Manfredo, which that's not worth listening to. Skip that. That was when we figured out we shouldn't have Canyon Manfredo back on the show anymore because he's fucking boring. Oh
So
man,
I thought it was fascinating. I know you guys hated it, and I'd love to get
sucks.
Canyon on Pat's patio to fucking just
Do it.
know about his
I
weird life.
110% support that, dude.
I think he is a total weirdo and a cringe lord, and I want to hear about his life because it's wacky. And I thought him and Neil chatting the whole time was really fascinating because Neil doesn't know
Neil
shit
saved it.
about Canyon. Yeah, that's why I thought it was great. It's like his all Canyon's like he was in the back of a truck bed or some shit with some shitty phone service. So yeah, he sucked. But when
Getting
Neil got
upset
in,
about some girl drama.
yeah, the whole drama that he was talking about and Neil getting deep into it was
He talked to
really
us-
interesting to me.
He talked to us like we were fucking TMZ the podcast, and I hated it. I was like, I don't give a fuck about what you're talking about right now, man. Like, you want to tell some
Don't blame you.
weird fucking Benoit balls in your butthole stories? Tell me that shit. Don't tell me about this gay ass drama on fucking whatever your dumb emo scenecore website that nobody except for you and three bitches.
But
that
just
are
so you
trying to
know,
fuck you.
Cody is saying
Which
all this.
daddy?
Cody's saying all this, and he just talked about having James Inman on just for his own thing. Just saying.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not shitting on. I'm not shitting on you, Pat. You're like taking it personally. that I don't like
I was
this
just
guy.
saying, like, I'm not. I'm just giving you shit, bro. I'm not taking it personally. I don't give a fuck what you think about it. Yeah, obviously, I know that you don't like that kind of content, so totally understand.
No, yeah, I'm with you. Oh yeah. Oh, I'm a hypocrite. Yeah, well, I know I'm a hypocrite, but
I was just giving you shit.
No, but I yell at anybody that calls me a hypocrite. Yeah, so that's
Yeah,
'cause I'm
you're a
piece
bird.
of
You're
shit
both
like that.
birds. Let's move on.
Nice.
The funniest thing of that entire thing was he kept stalling to play live, and he kept tuning his guitar and not tuning it on his guitar ukulele. And then he offered to play Death Cab for Cutie for you guys. And then at one point, Neil just starts to laugh at how long it's taking this asshole to fucking tune a guitar because it's not the kind of thing where it's like ding ding, you know, it's not like the thing where you kind of like pick around for like 30 seconds and figure it out, or a minute. Like it's like a good solid multiple minutes.
Way too long.
Of Canyon like fucking around with this ukulele thing.
That's
Totally
like
doesn't know how to play it. Totally
like a
just
cringe
bought it for a
skit.
look.
like, have you ever seen those
Totally.
cringe skits like the British comedy shows will do on fucking like on like YouTube clips of those? It was like one of
Yeah.
those. It's like I'm gonna play this
Totally.
song for you, and then just tune for like 5 minutes straight. And just can't
Never
get it
gets it.
down. Oh man,
Like, let's move on, please. I
what
don't
a
know what I'm
fat
doing.
bag of douche that guy is.
Anyways,
I like
No.
this next one. I really enjoy talking to Blake Hammond and Jerry Johnson, especially Blake Hammond, though. And then we had
Yeah.
Allie's brother on the latter half, Matthew Sweeney, who runs Third and Main, which was that was an interesting conversation about like both his
Totally.
restaurant and like this is May 31st, so we're 2 months into COVID at this point, and we're like learning how a restaurant is operating in the first 2 months of the quarantine. So that's kind of interesting, like with how the restaurant has been affected. But Blake and fucking Jeremy are the highlight for me. They're hilarious. Those
So funny.
guys just fuck around and like just know how to riff perfectly. Just great comedians. Whenever fucking comedy opens up, go and see those fucking guys. But what do you guys remember from it?
I thought they were great. They're always hilarious. Blake Hammond is one of my favorite guests, to be honest. He just rolls with the punches. Whatever the fuck we talk about, he's all about it. He's great, and he knows exactly what to say all the time. When it comes to Matthew Sweeney, I remember kept asking about his place being haunted, and I was referring to being haunted as vibing hard, and I got a kick out of that myself, and I hate myself for it.
Luke, anything on it?
No.
That restaurant, by the way, the reason you were talking about it being haunted was it's like it used to be like John Dillinger's hangout spot back in the Dizzy, and I don't know, Prohibition, the 20s and 30s and shit like that. And it was an old grocery store before that in the 1880s, like a family-run grocery store for like 50 years that turned into a bar and closed and then reopened as Third Main. Place is like a historic spot. It's also in historic Aurora. Check out Third Main. They didn't pay me to say that. I just like them. Mansfield, what do you got?
The highlight of me for the show was Jeremy Johnson telling a story about where they did a roast for some guy who was running for public office in Hamilton. And the dude was like, yeah, you can say whatever you want about me. Go ahead. And the guy's wife had died of a heroin overdose, and Jeremy Johnson made fun of her for that.
Oh, no.
yeah.
Oh, my
And
God.
He did it because Blake told him to do it. Blake was like the only one in the whole
Yeah.
crowd that was comfortable with it too. Jeremy said that he bombed on the joke, and then he was like, "Nah, dude, I was laughing."
And like the dude's wife, her kids were there and shit. It's just like, holy fuck, that's not good.
That's fucking
Yikes.
hilarious, kind of though.
Good lord.
Oh, that's like in hindsight, it's funny sort of thing, but in the moment,
Oh,
you just
yeah,
want to die.
Well, you can't. If somebody's like, "Hey, what's off limits?" You go, "Nothing's off limits." It's like, okay, well, I got the green light, so apparently you're cool with this. Apparently not.
Because they don't assume that
I
you're
remember
gonna.
that now.
When people, most normal people don't even think that people are gonna pry that deep into the realms of darkness. So maybe that's what it is. But I'm so happy that Blake told Jeremy to do that right in front of this guy. Oh, that's fucking great.
The other highlight of the episode was Pat. I saw the same thing online. I think this was in the group at one point. Was Pat talks about a dude who made a Facebook profile for his sex doll.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, Stephanie East. There's this guy who married. I
You
think that's her
remember the
name.
name?
Yeah,
Remember the name,
because-
Pat?
Of course I know it. Of course.
Pat's
Of course
beating
I
off
do.
to that
There's a
Facebook
group
profile.
online I'm a part of that has like
Oh.
20,000 people in it that are trying to find out what happened to this guy and his sex doll. And he had this whole Facebook with her and all this. I'm pretty sure this is the same person that I'm talking about. Maybe I'm misreferring it, but I remember that they had this Facebook and they had this marriage and all this stuff, and then they vanished off Facebook forever. And someone thought that he murdered someone and is on the run with the sex doll, or there's like some other shit that's going on. So yeah, it was a really fascinating hole to deep dive into. You know, it was weird as shit.
Yeah, dude. All right, moving on. We got a lot of
Moving
these
on.
to get through. We got like
Crime Scene
30 more.
Cleanup with Laura Spalding, CEO of Crime Scene Cleanup.
So this was an interesting episode for me in particular because it was one of those things after I messaged Johnny, I was like, who the fuck else would message back? So I just shot a message to this Instagram and I had to go through like business meetings. I had to be on the phone with like the owner and like several other people and then have to get transferred a lot and then have interviews for us and stuff. It was a weird thing to get these people on. And eventually they were like totally down for the whole thing. Like, yeah, we'd love to come on. Let's just come on. It'd be great. We do podcasts all the time. But I just remember I had to go through like business meetings and I'm just trying to get someone on the fucking podcast. It was very stressful.
Highlight of the episode: Cody completely fucks up their name.
Oh, because
Big shock.
I had the wrong. There's two very famous Instagram profiles that are almost identical in the name: Crime Scene Cleaning and Crime Scene Cleanup. So I had Crime Scene Cleanup, and I asked Pat, "Is it Crime Scene Cleanup?" before we started. So I had that
it's my
Instagram
fault.
profile
It's
ready to
my
go.
fault.
And then when I plugged it, she was like, "Actually, I want to make a little correction." And fucking Pat clowned me, and so did Luke. And I sat there and ate it, and I was like, "I confirmed with Patrick before the show, you son of a bitch." He wasn't paying
Fake
attention.
news.
Bastard.
Fake news.
Bastard. Ah. All right, yeah.
Making
Well,
shit up.
yeah, I fucked it up. It's my fault. I should have done more research. Don't ever
Anything
trust
you got
Pat.
on that?
Always double check.
It was a weird show because you guys were trying to joke and she was not joking.
No, not at all.
It's a very jaded lady that sees dead bodies as part of her fucking
Hey,
job
she
on the
started to
day-to-day.
open up when she pointed out my closet. I remember.
Oh
that.
yeah. Yeah.
She's
she
like,
was
"Yeah, I
fucking
found
with-
bodies in closets less hoarded than that."
Oh wow. I
Yeah,
remember
and
that all.
and she was like offering their services to help Luke with the closet. Like they're like, "Well, you can pay for us, and we'll come out and take care of the closet."
Yeah.
Good shit.
Oh
shit.
god.
All right, 121 All City Swapcast with Danny Gamble of Higher Level Art. Check out All City. I'm supposed to go do a podcast with him, but I don't know when. My schedule's always fucked up, but he keeps asking me to do it. I got to go get on that man's podcast. I remember Pat was gone for this one, and it was just me and Luke, and I think we did it in the basement. Is this when I started having people in the basement, or when at least Luke started coming in the basement, Mansfield? Do you remember?
I did not get that detailed in my notes.
This might have just been, hold on, a very powerful sermon this week, folks. What's with you and the folks, Luke, in the descriptions? Like, how many, do you always put folks in every single one?
Yeah.
Take a
Not
shot.
all of them, but it is one that I use to address everybody.
It's
Okay.
a Luke lingo.
I use folks a lot. I use tune in. I use jerks.
Hold on. Check this out. Pat was on vacation. Pat, where the fuck did you go on vacation on June 14th?
I still went on vacation. I just social distanced down there. It was in New
Oh,
Smyrna
yeah.
Beach. We didn't go out to eat or anything. It was actually really surreal going to restaurants because no one gave a fuck.
Pat
in
did the
Florida.
thing that
We're
all
the
the
only
Trump
ones wearing
patriots
masks.
do, like where they go to fucking vacation in Florida and shit like that. But Pat's like, no, I did it right though. I didn't do it like all these
I
other
wore
fucking Trump tards.
masks. I wore masks when I did it, so I did it right.
there, but it was when he went into the restaurants though. It was kind of surreal just because of like how serious it was at the moment. But no one in the restaurants like cooks or anything. And
Let me talk about how confused I was actually about this. Like Mansfield said it. This was Patrick's like life, like bread and butter. Like COVID is everything. I'm not doing anything. No shows. And then he's like, "We're gonna go away for a week. We're going on vacation. We're traveling."
Also, before quarantine, Pat took the most vacations of all my friends. Like of anybody I've ever met. Also, Pat goes on vacation twice a month. It's crazy to me. Like when everything opens back up.
I know how to budget, bro.
You do a good job of
it. Make my life fun.
Don't have any kids, dude, because you'll never go on vacation ever again. But
no, but this was like something where like we couldn't get any money back, so it's like, well, what the fuck do we do? Should we just we'll just go. We're just not going to go out to eat. We'll just eat there, and everyone doesn't do anything for 2 weeks, and that's how we went through it. I mean, obviously no traveling, but whatever.
I'm just busting your balls, dude.
Except across state lines. Except across state lines.
Yeah.
To Florida.
I see Pat just getting defeated right now. Pat, don't get defeated. We're just kidding.
I'm good.
Pat's defeated. All right, no, I'm just joking.
Yeah, we're kidding, but also for real, though. Like...
I love you, Pat. This isn't going to stop, though. This will not stop.
I mean, that's kind of the podcast, though. I mean, everybody gets hit with the shit stick at some point here.
Oh, yeah,
dude.
For sure.
All right, next 122. This is the last time that we've had everybody calls you a tank. It's so weird to call you a tank. I call Mansfield. Dana Brunson and Mansfield came on, not together, not simultaneously. We did Dana's interview, which was pretty much just the same thing, but not as good because it was on Zoom as the first time we had Dana on. Like, I don't feel like he had a lot more to say that was a lot different.
Nah, he was telling us about his new hobbies. I thought that shit was cool.
It was interesting. He's always great to talk to, but I don't know. It wasn't as good as the first one. Like, if we got to talk to that dude, I feel like you got to be in person.
First one was really powerful.
Because you're in person. It's a better podcast. Like, you get just, like, all the social cues and, like, the energy of the room's all the same, and nobody's... At least I'm still talking over people, but I'm doing it less because I could see people getting angry in person instead of just judging through a fucking 2-inch by 2-inch screen. I'm like, is Pat actually mad at me? I can't tell. But, yeah, it was a good old time. I don't remember what we talked about with Mansfield. I remember Dana Brunson. What did we talk about with you, buddy?
PS5 announcements.
Yeah, PS5 announcements. Yeah, talked about the PS5. Nothing. Yeah, again, it's not evergreen at this point. So, I mean, unless you're like a super hardcore gamer, go back and listen to it if you want our opinions on what it was at the time. But yeah, we were just talking about the press conference.
Right on. All right, the next one, 123. Eamon and Justin 3000 Stewart. I remember loving this, and fucking meeting Justin was cool. I forgot about Justin, though. I feel sad that I've forgotten about Justin. We got to talk to that dude again because he was a really fascinating fucking conversation. He's a buddy of yours also, right, Mansfield?
Yeah, man. 3K is awesome. Yeah, he does so much cool stuff. He's actually the guy that originated 6-bomb boards. So I love that dude.
Is that coming back? I remember during that interview, he said that he was like, I don't know, dude. I don't know what the future holds and shit like that. But, I mean, this is 7 months ago.
We just agreed that we were going to take all 2020 off. We weren't going to do events in 2020. And then once we get out of winter and we'll see where we're at with vaccinations and also just where the numbers are at, then we'll start figuring how to do live shit again.
Right on. And I think this was, I believe we did Eamon and Justin 3K on like the Zoom chat, how we're doing it now. But the next one, we came back to the studio, right? Like the Jason Staley, 124 for the Super Satan show. He
wasn't in the studio, I don't think.
He was not in the studio, but we were in the studio, and we had him on Zoom chat. And because I remember him commenting on it, like, oh, I'm not good enough to be in the fucking studio and shit like that. So I think we were actually physically in the studio, but I might be wrong about that. Do you guys remember?
I think we were in the studio.
Yeah, it was a good time talking to him.
We were trying to get that, yeah.
Jason's a character. Super Satan show is fucking rad. It's always
wonderful.
A good time talking to him. Oh, Mansfield's got the fucking shirt on right now. I gotta get one of those. Those shirts are tight. Yeah, dude, go and buy his merch. Go and check out the Super Satan show. I don't know if he's doing stuff right now. I'm off the interwebs, so I don't keep up with everything. But I'm sure he's doing something. Some fucking weird.
He's trying to find a show or a band for his season finale.
Yeah. I gotta get back on Facebook so I can see all this shit again. God damn it, fucking piece of shit, fucking fuck. But yeah, any notes on this one?
Corona update. At this point in the year,
Is it Pat? Wait. Okay. All right.
All updates about me.
No.
It's always an update about me.
Hold on. It's all three of you. It's all three of you. So this is where
Nice.
all three of you stood at the time on Corona. Pat is 100% down with Corona and believes it exists and it will murder you. Cody exists in a gray area where he agrees that it's bad, but what are you gonna do?
That's how I still feel.
And Luke just doesn't think it's gonna kill you.
Yeah.
Luke always thinks he's invincible.
And I still stand by
He's
that.
pretty much
I
right.
think it's a pandemic, but unless you got some serious shit, I think you're safe.
Yeah, I think you're good. I don't know.
I think you're totally safe.
I really am over this fucking Corona horse shit.
Can't smell, can't taste for a few days. Ooh.
Yeah, and
You'll be
like
fine.
if you're
Everyone's
650 pounds, maybe it'll kill you faster than the cheeseburgers will get you. But like you're going out soon anyways if you're dying of Corona. I don't know. I've had family members die of it, and it's like, yeah, he was gonna die of anything. It was the common cold that was about to kill him. So I don't fucking know. Like I have no fucking idea. If you're gonna die anyways, it'll probably kill you. But I don't know. I'm an asshole. I'm a piece of shit. What do you want from me?
I'm trying to fuck with it just because I don't know what the long-term implications are. Like that's my thing. Is like I don't know.
Wanna be
like
sick.
What is it?
yeah, well, I have asthma, so if
It might
I got
get
asthma,
you.
like if I get something else in my lungs, that's not helping anything. So I just want to avoid that shit.
And you're dressed like an 80s Coke dealer right now, so
That's true.
I feel
I am.
like the coronavirus would be
love it.
more apt to kill you just for how you look. Like, we gotta get rid of this guy.
No, dude, 80s Coke
He's
dealers
doing harm to our
dude,
streets.
Dude, scumbags live so long. Got so much time.
Oh man, you're dressed like a
Just
scumbag.
out there
What are you
doing no
saying?
good in the community.
You're a nice fella, but you are dressed like you might do some harm. Like, are your neighbors ever like? You ever see them out there like just looking at you and fucking text on the phone? Are you real friendly to your neighbors? How does that work out for you?
Most of them are pretty cool. We just leave each other alone. There's just a lot of like, hey, how's it going?
Yeah,
And that's about it.
Try to get
Yeah.
in and out of my house as fast as
Yeah.
possible without any conversations
Dude,
with anybody that I live around ever.
I remember when we lived in Coleraine, my mom made the unfortunate mistake of becoming like buddy with the family right across the street, and there was just this frantic, frail old woman who had been like smoking since she was 10 with this really raspy voice, and she would come the fuck over all the time and just talk about anything. Bro, it was the worst. I don't know how people can just like form that kind of relationship with neighbors.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't
Like,
either.
fucking
My mom's the
wall.
same fucking way, and then she'd have problems with
Yeah.
the neighbors, and I'm like, see, that's why you don't talk to the neighbors. Just go
Right.
in and out of your house like a serial killer at the hours in between 3 a.m. and fucking like 6 p.m. and shit like that, and just never ever, even if they talk to you, just pretend like you're deaf. You don't have your fucking earbuds in. Like I never ever communicate with my neighbors. Fuck them.
I do like to weird out my neighbors though. Like I'm beside this dude who's like traditional like Cincinnati like 60-year-old Catholic guy, and he's just kind of just normal everyday dude. And we're talking, and the other day we were talking about the human body, and he was talking about how like his friend hurt his knee or something. I'm like knees are just awful. Like they don't make sense. They're a terrible design. And I'm like, so much things are designed well on us. I'm like, think about like your rib cage and your sternum. I'm like, you know how hard it is to slip a knife in there to stab a lung or a heart? I'm like, you got to put some work into it. I'm like, why can't knees be built better like that? And he's just like, yeah, sure. Yeah. Like, so I like to say that every once in a while, just to like fuck with them to see what
You're
they
like,
say.
all right, see ya. I can imagine you sweating like crazy after you say that, and you're like, well, I gotta go.
Yeah, you should be
Good
sweating and like sharpening a knife while you're having this conversation about stabbing dudes. Talking about anatomy, just like with your scalpel collection on the front porch and just organizing it just so.
I'm gonna invite Luke over to clean his katanas on my porch someday, and let him think like this like a club.
Yeah, ginger ass fucking Luke out front in full samurai garb, just like next to a fire, sharpening a big ass sword.
We got a fucking forge in my front yard.
You gotta build it overnight so the
hold it
neighbors
past
wake
you.
up to their morning coffee of Luke just out there with a fucking like a.
I'm
He's
a-
got the
I am a
headband on and
million
it's fluttering in the
percent
wind.
The neighbors are like, is that up to code? And fucking Luke just throws a hatchet at him, and they run back in their house.
I just start challenging them all. Like whenever they come out of their front door, I just start screaming at them. Like I challenge it to the back.
Pat's in the backyard with the new longbow, just firing off fucking, just archering it up
It's
in
like
the
a
backyard.
Viking house next door.
He's just walking around on Mansfield's roof in like some archer garb.
with binoculars or something.
Nice.
I'm on the
Protect
back
your house,
porch.
Mansfield.
All right.
Doomsday prep
So-
crew in full effect.
Fucking dude down the
Yeah.
street like runs out his front door and quickly tries to get to his car, but he drops his keys, and I'm just running at him like,
Claymore.
and meanwhile Patrick's just like firing off arrows.
Stupid.
He screams, leaves the keys, and runs back inside. Like, ah!
All right, we got 45 minutes of the. Should we just bleed this into the Patreon? Like finish this up in the Patreon, or should we rush through this as fast as possible?
Let's rush.
All right, let's rush.
Go.
I like the rush idea. I'm gonna go take a piss, but Cody Best and The Last of Us 2 meets Trump Taker. Yeah, it's just me and Luke and Cody Best on that one. Pat had to go on vacation again, and
No, my
something.
mom died.
I'm just
actually.
kidding. I was trying to make it fun.
Throughout this whole thing, I wasn't on a couple episodes actually. I think because of that.
Yeah, I was just
Yeah.
trying to make it fun. I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. I was just saying like something really crazy happened where I couldn't be there.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Sorry, I didn't mean to bring it down. Go on.
I just remember on this one that me and Luke didn't know Cody Best at all. And like we've always known of him, and he's like obviously a patron of the show, and it was cool talking
He's
to
gonna cut
him.
my hair next Saturday.
I just remember that that it was like I thought Pat was gonna be there to lead it because it was like Pat's friend that he's known for forever, and then when Pat wasn't there, I didn't know what to get into with Cody, or like didn't know how to dip my toes in the water, so it started off awkward and kind of carried through awkward a little bit. To no fault of Cody's, it's just like sometimes when you meet somebody, you got to have like the other friend there that knows them and shit like that, and it becomes a more cohesive time. So we got to have that dude back on to do that again with Pat, shit like that. I feel like
Totally.
It was a good
that
time.
dude deserves
We talked about some games.
It was a great time, but a little
You gotta
awkward.
shave
I
your
remember.
nuts.
He
too.
joins
Yeah.
Cody joins the stream every now and again. He's known as Lord of Wolves on Twitch. He joins my stream every now and again.
Fucking
Yeah, he's
sick.
awesome, man. I've went down to his shop a few times, got my beard trimmed by him. He's great. He's a fucking funny dude. Yeah, and he's definitely got some stories. I mean, all that dude does all day is cut hair and talk. So he's
Yeah.
definitely got some shit.
He's got
dude.
so many stories. I can't wait to get him back on.
I gotta
And
piss.
shave your nuts.
We have on herpetologist Jordan Jones next episode. I want to do a mini update on this episode, like right off the bat. She was talking about her whole court and like trials against Tim Stark, and there was things like she was telling us about off mic that she couldn't bring up on the show because of lawyers and stuff. But Tim Stark is now behind bars. She won her whole court
Holy
ordeal,
shit.
everything she was trying so hard to do. She won.
Whoa.
Her effort was not for naught. She succeeded. Yeah, Tim Stark is in jail. All the animals were taken and are hopefully living healthy lives and safe lives now.
I
yeah,
thought
she won.
Yeah, that was a really fun episode. She had a lot of really cool facts. I also remember I wrote down on my notes here that Cody has no idea how a turtle works.
Yes,
Like,
I
at
wrote this down
all.
too. I wrote this down
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
I
yeah.
thought they
That
could
was
come
the
out-
I was
episode Cody
shocked.
was like, do they come out of their shell?
I thought they could. I thought it was like a hermit crab, like that they could migrate shells. You guys laugh, but like, how much do you fucks know about turtles?
Your
and why?
knowledge of
more than the
turtles
basic.
expands to like Super Mario. That's as far as your knowledge of
100%.
turtles
Yeah,
goes.
right. Because why do you know more than that about turtles? Like, what the fuck, Jordan Jones? How did you even come across this information about turtles in the first place?
How did you get this far in
Dude,
life, Cody,
watch-
not knowing that about turtles?
What the fuck do turtles have to do with my day-to-day existence ever?
It's such a basic knowledge, basic animal knowledge.
I don't have basic
See, that's
animal
like
knowledge.
the first question children ask anybody about turtles.
It's the first
is,
quiz.
can they come out of their shells? And then a logical adult who has their shit together goes, "No, honey, turtles can't come out of their shells. They'll die.
My
it's
mom-
a part of their body." And then they grow up with that piece of simple-minded knowledge in the back of their recess forever. You know?
My mom was dealing with My tired ass mom had 5 kids and me with no ADD medication. So while she was trying to calmly do that, hit another one of us and fucking scream at the other 2, shut the fuck up, like trying to get us all in the car at once and shit like that, just trying to go get us food and shit. She was probably answering my mile-a-minute questions and then me over-talking her like I've never learned how to not do to other people the whole time. So someone I'm sure said it, but I just talked right over them as they were explaining it.
You never like watched like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and like asked that question or heard them make a quip about it?
Nope, I just assumed it was possible. And I went 26 years in life and never, ever thought to Google it. I just assumed.
Well, you brought it up at the perfect time to learn on the episode 127.
Yeah.
With the
Did we skip the... By the way, I heard Luke go immediately into herpetologist Jordan Jones. Did you even mention the episode before it, which is next?
No.
The TikTok artist
didn't.
and Cody sucks? Yeah, that was an episode that happened too. Fuck it, we're already past it. It doesn't matter. Somebody canceled. Somebody canceled, and did you have notes that were important, or are we skipping right along?
There was one highlight from that episode. Pat calls Cody Cokedy, and that should have stuck.
Cokedy? Oh, yeah, because of the cocaine.
Yeah. Pat, tip of the hat. Tip of the hat. That was nice.
Sorry, Cody.
I don't remember that at all, but it's so good.
You guys totally glossed it doesn't get it doesn't even get a laugh in the episode. All you guys just totally act like it just called him by his regular name.
Was it because I was talking about cocaine or something like that?
That must have been what happened. I must not have heard it.
Pat, why are you embarrassed? That's great. That is a great
I
fucking fun.
forgot.
That's so good.
I think it's so stupid.
So
I think it's one of the
good.
dumbest things to say. I don't know. I just thought it was so dumb, and I love dumb shit.
Cokedy.
Hilarious.
Oh, that's solid.
Episode
God
127 highlights. Psycho Luke appears during the hepatologist episode. As Jordan Jones is talking about a Zune or breaking a bird's neck, the bird, to kill it, the bird doesn't die. It suffers for multiple hours waiting to die. Luke laughs.
As he's doing right now. His head is all over the place right now, just
That's
round
hilarious.
and round in circles. His head's on a swivel right now while his eyes are closed, and he's laughing maniacally into his backdrop he's about to tip over. Because even the mention of a horrific thing happening to another creature on this earth makes him so delighted.
yeah.
He's not playing a Psycho Luke character.
Oh, my God.
This is just Luke. If you just talk to Luke on the streets, he'll start laughing like that as you're talking
Jesus
about,
Christ.
hey, your grandma was hit by a bus or something.
And the other
See?
highlight, Luke starts talking about how good it is that she's being a whistleblower, and then Luke says, "Get all the kazoos."
Nice. All right. Going
All right,
forward.
that was it. Moving on.
Episode 128. Nick Glavin of TNB Podcasts and Hybrid Image. We had Nick back on, and I think this is the one that he wanted to do another one. Isn't this the one
I
where
think so.
Nick had to dip out or whatever?
Nope.
No? Okay.
No.
Okay, so this was a great one then. I remember
This is, you guys talk about how gross restaurants are.
Okay. I don't know. We've had Nick on a bunch, so all the conversations bleed together. I just know that every time Nick's on, it's going to be funny.
There's also
Any
a lot
notes
of,
on it?
there's a lot of Catholic talk between you, Pat,
That's what it
and
was.
and Nick.
Now I remember this is we recorded this Grandpa's basement style, except for Patrick, who was through Zoom, but 3 other dudes were cramped up in the room that I'm in right now, and then you guys all at the end talked about being Catholic because all of you guys went to Catholic schools and fucking like grew up with this super weird
sucked.
cult that I didn't know anything about. Like I literally just assumed it was just kind of like because we did like the Presbyterian and fucking Baptist and all the churches felt the same to me. But then you guys talk about Catholicism and I'm like, this is a fucking cult that nobody talks about is going on. This is fucking intense.
Yeah.
Sure. It's very culty.
Yeah.
That was wild.
Stuck.
Yeah, it was
Very
good
culty.
times. I remember
Ruined my education.
Nick talked about
Luke-
that skate game.
Yeah,
what?
and then Luke tells a story about the principal or a teacher putting him in the trash can at lunch to smash trash.
Oh yeah, I got candy for that. Wouldn't you guys
What the
do
fuck?
that? I
Does he
got
rub his
large
hard dick
pieces
on your
of
back?
Chocolate.
Did he just
I got-
like
I got
rub you
large
up and
pieces of chocolate bunny
what's
for that.
Dude, how gross were your shoes after that? Did you get milk on them?
Dude, I don't remember. I don't remember at
Ruin the shoes.
all. I just remember like I get to stand in the garbage. Everyone gets to look at me, and I get candy. So
according to what I know,
everything I needed was being met. Attention and sweets. That's it.
Based on what I know from Luke's upbringing, they probably sent him to school like a French grape stomper, like that was his career and shit like that. He just had purple, dirty feet. So the principal already assumed that this was going to be his either ditch digging or fucking trash stomping was going to be one of his two career paths.
Well, that was when Mr.
They're like,
Miller
we better get
was
you a head
still
start,
around.
son.
That was Mr. Miller, and Mr. Miller, he was only around till I was in like 2nd grade. After that, they got no 4th grade. After that, they got rid of him, and they got a new guy. They didn't get rid of him; he retired. Let me get rid of that before Mr. Miller's honor is besmirched.
Is this super loud?
No,
not too loud. No. What are you trying to open up and eat over there, guy?
Oh, I have Funyuns. Do you guys ever do the thing where you get the bag, but you don't want to make extra loud crinkly noises in the middle of the podcast, so you find out where the Funyuns are at and cut the bag to that point? So that you can.
No.
It makes it so much easier to eat, so you don't crumb up your fingers, dude. It's like I hate to say life hacks because it sucks, but
that's a life hack.
It's a quality fucking life hack for real. Like cut the bag of chips, and I was like, once I learned that, I've never stopped doing it. Like once the bag of chips gets down to like just a portion, you can finish for sure. Cut it down there, and you won't get crummy fingers. It's a solid tip.
That's
all right. Next,
moving on.
Up in them geek guts, Rodney Fikey and Eamon Hill.
That we were Eamon Hill heavy during the quarantine. We had him on like 3 fucking times so far.
It's great.
Yeah,
and Nick
awesome.
too. He's great.
It's always a great. Anytime he comes on, I feel like I'm learning so much shit about comics, like how comics work all the time, and it's just crazy how in depth it can be and how much work. I also remember we were really giving Rodney a hard time because he was like a bouncer or something, and I kept asking him like, "Did you ever kill anyone? You ever fucking kill anyone?"
Yeah.
And,
dude, I still mean it. I still mean it. I'm gonna get the first tattoo from Eamon of his comic book on me.
Do it, dude.
That'd be sweet.
He's got that pin of the bloody tooth
from Vaquero. Yeah.
And yeah, I'm gonna get that tooth. I'm gonna get that tooth done for sure.
That'll be fucking sick, dude. Yeah, that's such a go and check out. We've already said it, but go and check out Eamon and Wish Hill's company, fucking Pigbone Comics, and they're doing shit with Rodney Fikey. He's always posting shit. Or the last time that I looked,
always posting art.
They're always collabing some shit up. I don't know if is it Pigbone anymore. He's doing Hasm shit now, right? Is Eamon still doing shit with Hasm or is it Pigbone? How's that go, man?
I think he's just doing Pigbone stuff. I got the message the other day that he's not doing the second Roadkill book. So because I gave to the Patreon of the first one. So yeah, it's just gonna be Eamon doing artwork and making his own stuff. I do want to plug this. If you kind of weird, but if you need like filler tattoos, go to Eamon. That dude is the king of filler tattoos. Like if you need like a tiny, like a bunch of like little small stuff that takes like maybe like a half hour to knock out, go see that dude. I got like 3 little like super small tattoos by him, and they're fucking awesome.
That's
I got one by him, which is like this ghost lantern, and he knocked it out real quick, and he's got so much to talk about when you're there with him. So
I love him.
I highly recommend getting tattooed by him.
He's a gentle giant. I always feel bad fucking with him on the show because then he just sits there and smiles, and he's just like this gigantic man staring at you across the room, but
you just want to hug.
Yeah, he's the best dude.
Totally want to
fall asleep in his embrace.
I think you're describing your gay fantasies with Eamon. That's a little different. It's not the feeling I quite get. My penis doesn't light up with warmth and joy whenever I look into Eamon's eyes. Think about how good his beard would feel in my butthole.
I'm just saying, when I hug Eamon, I feel safe. That's all I'm saying. I feel safe in his embrace. But we got notes.
Eamon's quality. I want to fucking get a tattoo by him. Go and check him out. Mansfield, is he still a ballistic? Is that still a spot?
He's a Flying Tiger. Flying Tiger up in Pleasant Ridge.
Go up there. I gotta go. I'm gonna try to do the
it.
Luke thing and the Pat thing where we get tattooed by everybody on the show. The Nick tattoo that I got from Glavin is fucking lit a fire under my ass. We mentioned him a bunch of times. Go to Hybrid Image and get tattooed by him also.
Oh yeah. Hey, can I see it? I missed it earlier. Can you just hold it up to the camera?
Yeah. Hold on. I should probably take it off the screen share. It'll make it. You could probably see it a little bit better. Here.
That's sick. It's huge. Nice.
Yeah, it was a bitch
Nice.
sitting through it. I was like, I feel like a pussy. I've talked about it too much on the show.
Getting tattooed sucks. Don't let
Yeah.
anybody tell you it doesn't hurt. They're fucking lying.
Doing it all in one
They got,
session was
they got a 2
bitch.
second like little speck tattoo, and they're lying.
Yeah, after 2 hours, I had 2.5 more to go. I was like, fuck this. This sucks, but
Yeah.
fuck it. I'm sitting
Like,
through it.
sure, it hurts,
Gotta
but
finish.
it's not like murder.
I'm a pussy,
Yeah,
dude.
it's like
I'm a
tolerable pain, but after a long time, you just get so raw, and you're just like,
That's what it
"Done
was.
with this feeling.
I was just raw as fuck. It was like, it's not
Yeah.
like the worst pain I've ever endured, but just the constant pain of it. I was like, oh, fuck, this is a different experience from all my other tattoos.
Yeah, he just got done doing like my entire chest except for like a pre-existing one. And like, dude, once I got shit outlined, I'm on the old man system. It's like I'm max 2 hours. Like that's it.
Yeah.
And I'll make 5 appointments to get something done, but it's just like I just don't want to sit here and just be like in just
I
Agony.
wish I
terrible
could do
for
that.
multiple hours.
I just want to knock it out. I just want to get it done in one sitting, and I don't want to come back to work on that spot.
Do you got it? How much is like you got stuff like on your torso or your back?
I'm actually gonna get my whole back done. Probably after summer.
Do you have anything
Or the
right
start
now,
of next
though,
year.
on your torso or your chest?
I have my chest done. Yeah, my chest
Yeah.
is there.
Do you have a
Yeah,
whole chest
dude.
piece or just the writing?
No, just some. Right.
Yeah,
Mansfield's
I
got
ain't trying
thick
to-
color on his chest.
Yeah,
I
I know.
asked,
You're a man.
I asked Nick about it, and I was like, how am I holding up stacked next to... He was like, it's a completely different spot. He was like, you don't fuck around when it comes to the chest. That's a different animal. And then it was like, yeah, dude, like, you
yeah.
can't just sit there and take it like that on your
Luke's
chest.
got
It's
a big
gotta
ass
be...
piece on his left.
It's
breast.
no fun.
Yeah,
dude.
I don't know. I know I've seen your chest piece, but I don't know. Did he go on your nipple?
No, actually, he didn't go on my nipple. But it's so weird. Like when you're getting your chest tattooed, it's like that's my nipple. It's like, nah, I'm like at least a few inches from your nipple. And it's
Yeah,
like,
you think it's there
God
though.
damn.
That's exactly
it's-
what I was gonna say. And that
Yeah.
like I was gonna ask if that's how it felt for you, because when I was getting
Yeah.
it done too, it felt like he was holding a lighter right over the tip of my nipple, and I'm like, he's nowhere near it. Like he's close, but he's not
Yeah.
on my nipple. Like he's far above it.
All right, let's save
Dude,
all
it
this.
sucked.
We got 20 more to get through, boys. I want to keep this going.
shit.
I'm sorry. 130, Jay Armstrong comedy, arrested for getting stabbed. What do we got on this one? I remember he came on as less of a comedian, more of a survivalist. He's like, check out my fucking knives.
Oh yeah, this is when he became all about pocket gear and stuff like that.
Yeah, dude, daily defense or whatever. Daily carry.
yeah, man.
shit.
Yeah, this
Sure.
was a wild episode. There was like a story about him, a friend stabbing him, and it was almost like the origin story down this road of like this guy has a bunch of crazy shit on him at all times.
Yeah.
I imagine Jay's just got a trailer park set up with. I imagine, I don't know what he lives in. I don't know if he lives in a house or not, but I just imagine double wide trailer with just, it looks like wind chimes in the distance, but then you get closer and it's just pocket knives, like just swinging around in the wind outside of his house and shit like that. Yeah,
Wait, wasn't the one thing? It was like a scalpel necklace or something like crazy.
God,
like,
yeah.
something
he had, like,
he
a
talked
weird
about
knife
as
that-
if
the
you would
scary
use this
kind of
every
mall
day.
ninja.
He was like, this one, oh, dude, this one will fucking, it'll fucking take
This is-
flesh off the
This will
bone.
gouge your
This is
eyeballs
what I
out.
use for when I open up boxes that I get pretty regularly. And
You
Have
made
to
it
have an
seem like
evidence
every
for
knife
it.
has a purpose, and I'm like, you just want to have 30 knives. That's all that's
Yeah.
going on
Luke,
right now.
He's like a scary mall ninja.
as a katana enthusiast, how does this rank for you? Like, is this are you down with having multiple weapons of death on you at all times?
no, not really. I mean, like, I own up to the ridiculousness of owning katanas and anime weapons.
Yeah,
Whereas, like, that's like a mask for, like, oh yeah, I'm actually gonna use this on a regular basis. No, you're not. You're
yeah,
not.
for
You're
sure. You're
not.
not.
Why do you have 3 pocket knives, one visibly showing on the back hip, and then like a necklace knife? Like you don't use all those.
Just
but-
get a gun, but the state of Kentucky won't let Jay Armstrong carry weapons legally anymore, so fucking knives. He's allowed to have 30 buck knives on him, so he's going to take advantage of that
I'd rather
law.
get shot. I'd seriously rather be shot than get stabbed. or
Dude,
something
if like
Sure.
if
Yeah.
oh, it'd
swords
fuck you up.
It would
if
suck so
swords
much.
for whatever reason
Oh my
started
God.
coming around again, then like sure, I guess Jay Armstrong will run around as a swordsman, but I mean no.
He's got his little pocket knife, and you got a double sword with Spider-Man on the fucking hilt.
Dude, I got the Spider-Man Claymore for
The
sure.
Spider-Man, no. I just imagine getting killed by something that's Spider-Man just on the side of it. It's just ridiculous.
Jay's hilarious. He wasn't necessarily there for the comedy that time, but he always has interesting shit to talk. I like that guy a lot.
It's interesting, dude. Every time he's on, I'm like, I'm listening to the episode.
I'm captivated.
Shit like that.
He tells a story about getting arrested for getting stabbed. He's a former junkie and shit, so he's got all these crazy junkie stories from back in the day. He's a fantastic guest. I love having him on.
Totally.
But just giving him some shit for his fucking daily carry nonsense
Notes?
he's always doing. Well, yeah, do you got notes? Is that it on that one?
We should just bleed this into the Patreon, guys. There's no way we're going to get through all
That's
this.
what I'm thinking. Why don't we just
I
bleed
think we
it
should
into
just
the
do
Patreon?
that.
It doesn't.
We still have 30 minutes till 9, though.
Yeah, but we still have ads and shit.
We aren't going to get through it. There's no fucking
way.
way.
Yeah. But
It's the 3-year anniversary.
I like taking the time to get through it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a good reason if you want to hear us fucking, if you made it this far and you actually enjoy what we're doing on this, the Patreon. But if not, it'll just be like, well, more of the same shit I didn't like. I guess I'm never getting the Patreon. I guess it depends on how people feel about this episode.
Yeah. So the next episode, moving on, the next episode was something I was really, really fucking stoked on, was Larry Roberts from the History Channel's Alone.
That was a good episode.
I found Alone by, I remember on Netflix it had it on or something, and Joe Rogan had this guy that was from the show, and I was like, that sounds interesting. So I checked out the show, and it was fucking amazing. It was so good. It's a survival show where people try to survive as long as they can. It's like survival battle royale almost. But when they, these are all bad motherfuckers. And so I was like messaging that Jordan guy, and he said, oh, I can't do it right now. I'm booked all the way up until September, which was months from this date, like till the next year. And so I hit up Larry Roberts because he didn't have that many followers on Instagram. So I'm like, maybe he'll answer. And he answered, and he came on, and he was fucking awesome, man.
He was
this
great.
Guy's a bad motherfucker.
It was a good episode for sure. One worth going back. It's not like the Bastard Sermon, but it's a good interview. It's a good
like he
talk.
talks about like what it's like to starve and like his breakdowns and everything like that, just living with all these mice that were coming and bothering him, and just the pure suffering that you have to go through to try to do that. Because he said he was like in some depressive hole or something, and he did this to just prove to himself he's alive almost, and then he tried to redeem himself in this whole thing, and now he lives happy as fuck because of it. What do you think about that episode, Mansfield?
It's definitely one of the offshoot Bastard Sermon episodes where you're listening to the Bastard Sermon, but it's not the regular Bastard Sermon, but it's a great episode. And I think that's kind of interesting about these episodes is like they do have their own little place in the Bastard Sermon community because, once every 20, 25 episodes, you guys have on a pretty serious guest, and you guys actually can do interviews without everything being a dick and fart joke.
There you go.
Yeah. Those people are few and far between, I think, because I don't know. I definitely have more fun dicking around, but there's time and place for the serious ones. I think
it depends
that it's
on who we're
important to
gonna
mix
have
it up.
on. Yeah, it depends on the guest. Like if there's someone that's really cool, like I just want to ask them like a billion questions. But then we also have people that are just like, I just want to have fun. I just want to talk about whatever. Everyone knows what you do. Whatever. Let's just fucking hang out.
100%. All right. Continuing on. Let's do this last one, and then we'll read our fucking reads, and then we can go and start it back up for the Patreon. So next one is the last one.
Before we get to that, though, I want to give a heads up to Cody. Because of our read for Crunch Bite last week, I have an actual written read from him.
Was our read that terrible? What did we do last week? I don't remember.
Yeah.
Is it my fault?
We'll get to it.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
I was really drunk.
Always something with the ad reads with you, Cody.
I was really drunk, and that's part of why I'm not drinking anymore. Well, not really, but I'll say that.
All right. Next episode.
Did you substitute history with Danny Gamble and Robert Reynolds? All right, so we tried to have Robert Reynolds come back on, the conspiracy theory guy that we've had on a bunch, believes in flat Earth. No
Flat
one's
Earth
looking,
denier.
but he's got the
Round Earth denier.
Right, and he's got the flat Earth map in the studio that he signed, and wore tinfoil hats, and comes on with manifestos of fucking copy paste shit that he's typed out on a typewriter somehow with a backwards R.
Microsoft PowerPoints.
Yeah,
he always tries to come extra prepared. Although I do love Robert to death, and he would totally kill me if he just got one hand on me, I'm sure.
The man is a maniac, and we are pandering because we're scared of him. We're pandering because he's a big, intimidating person.
Patrick shouldn't be scared. He has.
I'm just
guns.
kidding.
But anyways.
Robert's
Yeah,
good,
I have
dude.
guns, I guess, but I don't think they'd take him down.
Yeah,
but-
it'd be like shooting Jason. Like you'd have to at least put like 3 shotgun blasts into him to even get him to fall over.
Yeah, 3 shots in the chest before it even punctures his sternum a little bit.
Yeah, if you
That's
just hit him
hilarious.
once with some buckshot, he's just fucking swatting that away and still coming at you.
Yeah, he's like the
Love
Hulk. It
Robert.
bounces off of him if it's not high caliber enough. No, I do love the guy. He's always so down to come on the show. But this episode, I don't know. I got this vibe from people that listened to it that said that we were just kind of being really harsh on him. Is that what you took from it, Mansfield?
I thought it was. I thought it was basically it was both Danny and Cody going in on him, but at the same time, there was a bunch of bullshit Robert was saying need to be going in on.
Yeah.
So
Clint actually messaged me too, saying that we spent most of the episode shitting on him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
God.
there's a
it's
reason for it.
I feel mixed about it. Like I do like Robert. I think he's a good dude. I think some of the stuff, like a good percentage of the stuff that he is peddling though, is not real. And spreading that information, it's like, dude, this is not helping anything. Like, I think but at the same time, he's a super nice guy, and I don't want to hate on him.
Super
But-
nice guy.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like, come on, man. Like, I
But
can't
what'd he
listen
say?
to this.
It
What
just
are you
sounds
saying,
like
bro?
he hasn't thought it through very good, and that's the problem with a lot of the conspiracy people. The problem that I have is just they go a mile wide and an inch deep on all these topics. And like I admit when I'm fucking dumb about something or I don't know that much about it, these dudes will never give you an inch on this shit. Like never once. They'll never admit like, oh, maybe I didn't look into it. Next topic, and then fucking immediately into something else. Well, what about this one? And then when you start to like just ever so swiftly break apart how they don't know shit about this. Like I might not know shit about it, but I could eviscerate your level of knowledge on this with not even knowing anything. And this is supposed to be your thing, dude. Like I just get to a point where I'm over it, and I just want to fuck with you, and that's where I was at with that
You can't convince them
episode.
otherwise, man, because they've already. You could say do your research all you want to these people that are conspiracy theorists. It doesn't matter. They've done all the research by just looking into what they want to look into, what they want to see, and that's how they just keep doing it. So no matter what you say to them, it doesn't matter. There's always an excuse.
Danny's also like a really well-read, well-spoken type of dude that's got a lot of like. I feel like he's a smart guy. And when he sees shit like that, because he actually sits down and reads books and tries to figure shit out and go deeper into like ideas and like explore topics, and like you can tell from his art like that he goes into like something and fucking gives it his all and actually tries to do shit and like tries to be a businessman about stuff. And like when you see a dude do stuff like that, you know like he's probably smarter than you on some level. Like I feel like he's definitely smarter than Robert Reynolds without a doubt. And instead of trying to have this intellectual like back and forth, it's like, dude, you're fucking ridiculous. Like I'm not even gonna play this game with you. So I fed into that same energy of fucking with him with Danny, which I felt like was fun, but fuck everybody that didn't. I don't care if you didn't like it. I'm doing it for free. What do you want from me? Every once in a while, I get to fuck with Robert. What do I fuck with everybody else? Fuck with Pat and Luke. I can't fuck with Robert when he's saying crazy shit about how 6 million Jews didn't die. Fuck out of my face. I'll fuck with whoever I want. All right.
Fuck out of my face.
All right. We'll be back with the Patreon. Let's do the reads. Wait, no. I'm sorry.
What's your notes real quick, Mansfield?
Notes.
I will say this, even though we are talking about how much of a genius fucking Danny is, also want to point out big conversation about sending dick pics to dudes that send your girl dick pics.
Wait, what happened there?
Oh,
I
think
remember that.
I think that was about Jackson and balls to some dude who.
The four of you had a big conversation about what to do if someone sends your girlfriend or wife a dick pic and how to respond. And it was just a really funny bit, and Danny's a funny guy. So go back and listen to that if you haven't listened to it.
Yeah, he's a funny fuck. I forgot what had happened there. That's why I was confused.
It's a blur.
Everything's a fucking blur when you drink every
All right,
day.
let's get to the reads, and then you guys can catch the rest on Patreon.
Perfect. So we're going to start out with Hail Dark Aesthetics on 720 Main Street, Covington, Kentucky, 41011. Neil Higginbotham, who we were talking about earlier, he runs that shop. He's a cool-ass dude. There's cool shit at their store. Taxidermy, music, art, anything you want, really, that's gothic or dark-related that you're into. You can get it there, and you get 10% off if you say Hail Bastards at the checkout. They have a website now at store.hailcincinnati.com. You can go there and check out a lot of the stuff that I'm talking about. And they're open Monday through Friday, 12 to 7 p.m., and then Sunday, 1 to 5 p.m. Go check them out.
We are also sponsored by Scarlet Vape and Smoke Shop. If you guys want the best and the greatest top of the line heady glassware for your marijuana, if you got that medicinal card, or for your tobacco, if you so please, or if you guys happen to use Kratom to help you sleep, get some stress off your back, you want to head on over to Scarlet Vape and Smoke Shop. They've got the best prices. They've got the best, greatest, the most utmost of quality when it comes to this stuff. You don't want to go anywhere else, believe me. And you can get 15% off if you let them know that you are a bastard, a big old fan. They got 2 locations for you just in case one is too far. They've got one at 11424 Montgomery Road, Cincinnati, Ohio, 45249. And the other one is at 937 Mama Street, Newport, Kentucky, 41071. We are also sponsored by and continued to be sponsored by next month, Crunch Bite Gaming. Crunch Bite Gaming is our...
How did I ruin this last time? Can you tell me how I ruined this last time?
All right, well, let me go back into Cody's messages. Would y'all be cool if I gave you a couple bullet points to mention in the ad read? This past episode made me think that it could be a little smoother if I provided bullet points. Also planning on continuing the sponsorship past this month. And I was like, sure, man, if you want to type something up, give some bullet points, whatever. He goes, sweet, I appreciate it. I'll type something up. He says, no problem. I'm not worried about it. Cody was drunk and all the talking at once got very distracting. So no worries. So yes, it was you. If you really wanted to know on air.
I did. No, I did. It's funnier that way.
But we are, last but not least, sponsored by Crunch Bite Gaming. Head on over to Facebook at Crunch Bite Gaming or twitch.tv/Crunch Bite Gaming and give him a like and a follow. He goes live every Thursday at 1 p.m. and throughout the week, depending on his work schedule. It changes. You know, he's a busy man. He typically plays older games like Spyro, Halo. You get the gist. He plays Monster Hunter World. It's one of my favorite games. He's been doing a lot of that recently with Black Collar Live. But he will be branching out into more things with the Beard Brigade, the network of streamers he is getting together. Be sure to stay tuned for all the content to come.
Hell yeah. And then also real quick, Cody Best at Clifton Barbers. Go get a fucking haircut from this dude. He's the fucking man.
I am next Saturday.
Yep. I want to hear all about your experience because I bet you're gonna fucking love it, man. I can't wait to go back.
Getting tattooed by Nick Friday, getting a haircut Saturday.
There, you got a whole fucking plan, bro.
It's good stuff.
If you go to Clifton Barbers at 337 Ludlow Avenue over here right around Clifton, you can get a badass haircut. And there's other barbers there too. You can just go to the Instagram or Facebook at Clifton Barbers.
But Pat, what if they're bald? What if they're bald like Mansfield or our friend Eamon and they have a big, luscious beard? What happens then?
He will cut your beard and he will make it silky smooth.
In Mansfield, speaking from personal experience, does he do an okay job at this? A fairly all right job sometimes at this?
Can confirm. Also, got my head shaved by him with a straight razor. It's super cool.
Yeah. He puts like the fucking
any nicks?
No, okay. He's good. I asked him how. I'm like, how's it working? He's like, you just got to work with the blade. Like, just go with the blade. I'm like, okay, fair enough. I would never do that to another human being, but I'm glad he's really good at it.
He's really good. No walk-ins at the moment due to COVID. Appointment only. You can also online book. Cash only. 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Tuesday through Friday, and then 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Saturday. Go check him out, man. Seriously, good haircut shit.
Fucking sick, bruh. Is it my turn now? Hell yeah, brother.
It's Mansfield's turn.
This episode, motherfucking episodes, is sponsored by. What's up, Mansfield?
Oh, well, is it my turn? Because I was gonna shout some people out, but wait.
Sure, bud.
Do I go after you or
go after me? I'm gonna do you first. I'm gonna do your read.
Awesome.
This episode, as all episodes, is sponsored by the amazing, the talented, the incredible, the long dick wizard, Anthony Tank Mansfield. He runs the Kneel to No One brand. That's KNEELTONOONE for the people that don't know how to spell. Check that handle out on Instagram or go to the website of the same name and buy some of his awesome glassware. He's got these dope designs on it. T-shirts, one of which I'm wearing right now, the Kneel to No One. Do you even have any more of these fucking Motorhead Hop T-shirts, Mansfield?
I do. And
go buy one. They look fucking dope.
And new stuff coming out soon in 2021. So the website will be updated soon with some new shit.
Any announcements you want to make? Is it secret? Is it a big secret?
I'm getting excited for soccer season. So
hell yeah.
look for something like that.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Go and check it out. And custom commissions starting at, you said $30. Is that price upped? We never talked to you about the price, so I should let's figure it out right now instead of, how a professional does it before the podcast.
If you want like a custom slap, I'll do it for $30, but from there, price goes up. Depends on what the job is. I quote you as we go.
Hit him up. He does dope shit. We got to get him to do something for the Bastard Sermon. He's our only art friend. We haven't got to, well, no, that's a lie. We got too many fucking art friends. All right, go and buy his shit. We love you, buddy. Check out Dark Mountain Cult. That's Patrick's shit. He does pop culture, geometric designs. Not all of it's pop culture, but a good majority of it is. He's super prolific. He's always posting new shit.
Anime.
He's always selling some gangster shit, anime. There's fucking whatever TV shows you're watching. He's doing this cool horror mixed with Pokemon series. It's fucking amazing.
People are getting shit tattooed by him.
Follow Dark Mountain Cult.
Yeah, super wild.
There's a makeup tutorial lady that's getting the shit on the side of the face. And Pat doesn't pay us to say this. I just love Pat, and I always throw it in because I like his art a lot. So go fucking check that out.
Yeah, I'll draw whatever you want. Let's do something cool.
Who are our friends? We don't shout out our friends enough. Delightfully Macabre Podcast. Dude, half of that podcast is fucking paying for our Patreon and shit like that. Go and listen to them. They do weird, dark topics, and the four of them break it down. Go and get a fucking tattoo from Haley. Go get a piercing from Jack. They're at the Atlas Tattoo Company. Last time I checked, that might be different now. Who else are our friends?
Go
Nick
get pierced
Glavin.
by Allie.
Yeah, get a piercing from my girlfriend
Allie
or my
Sweeney.
fiance.
She does some badass piercings.
Red Dragon or Wicked Dragon. There's a Coleraine location, a Kentucky location. So go to either one of those shops to go get a piercing from my fiance and hit her up for booking. I don't know when she's in which shop. I'm terrible at remembering where she's at ever. I'm forgetful. What do you want from me? And who else? We mentioned our
I want to
friends in the
shout
episodes.
out Moses, Kayla Moses at he's got his own shop. I forgot the name of it. It used to be Get Up or something. Higher Living or something. If you just hit up Moses on Instagram, you'll see him. But he does some awesome tattoo work on people. He just did me, and I wanted to give him a quick shout out real quick. And I totally butchered the whole thing. Oh
you
my
might
God.
want to be a bit more specific. If you look up Moses, you might get a biblical figure. Other pages related to such.
Let me pull this up and redeem myself.
Jesus Christ.
He works at Guts. He does great work. He just did some work on my buddy Sean. He's fucking dope. Go and check out
Moses
Guts.
Dude on Instagram, and it's at Higher Love Tattoo. There we go.
I'm sorry. He
Shout
was
out.
Wasn't he at Guts? I'm fucked
He
up.
owns the shop. He owns the shop now.
Oh, hell yeah. That's fucking tight.
Yeah.
All right, Mansfield, who you got for the shouts-outs?
Yeah, I just want to shout out some of the fans of the show that have gotten stuff from me in the past year and, ordered either custom artwork or glassware. If I butcher your name, I'm sorry, but Graham Handler, Felipe Nichols, Ty Nichols, Steve Worth, Clint Young, and Tate Corcoran, who's from British Columbia. So I just want to say thanks to everybody that's got something.
Is it a pain in the ass to ship things internationally?
Right now, it's a bit of a pain in the ass, but yeah, it's okay. But it takes a minute.
It sounds like it's a lot of fucking work, a lot of paperwork at the post office to get something international, and it's a lot of money too. What do you got to charge? 3 times the actual cost of the commission to get it over there?
Yeah, I think to just get stuff to him, it was like $25, $30, something like that, just in shipping, and it's just it's like I'm trying to send him a box like this,
Right?
I got to get a box,
Sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah.
I would if I ever sell anything internationally art wise, I just say, here, I'm going to send you the image.
I'm happy people are buying shit off you internationally though. The ad reads work.
Yeah. No, and it's always cool to get something from another part of the world. It is one thing to be able to print something and have it, but to actually get something physical from someplace else on Earth, it's cool. I've had collectors I had some guy that was here for business in Cincinnati one time, and he saw a piece I did, and he took it with him back to India. So I'm like, that's cool. Something I drew now lives in a country I'll probably never visit.
Dude,
That
you
is
have
really cool way to
one
put
of
it.
your pieces of art that you drew is forever. I don't know if Christina Pajitsky still has it, but goddamn it, if I didn't see it on Your Mom's House podcast, she had the artwork because you went and saw her and gave it to her after the show. And then you
She hung up
posted
your
it, and
artwork?
then I always watched the Your Mom's House shit, and when they were doing it in their
What?
home studio, and I was like, is that fucking Mansfield? And I was like, oh yeah, I saw his post. That's fucking
Holy
Mansfield's
shit,
art.
bro.
I
You could
didn't
see it
know
clearly in the
that.
shot.
That's cool as shit.
Super fucking cool, man.
They might even have that hanging up in their studio, in the YMH studios somewhere. That's fucking.
Who knows?
It's gonna be changing here soon.
Yeah, that's live, dude. All right. Anybody
We're
else
cool,
that we're
man.
forgetting? Anything
Bobby
else that we need to
Bronson.
say? Yeah, Bobby
No,
Bronson's
and
great.
it-
The decorated body.
Yeah,
Go
Bobby
check him out.
Bonds is great. And if we're forgetting anybody else, because they don't pay us enough. All right, we'll catch y'all on the next episode, which will be the Patreon.
Luke's a
You don't-
stingy
do not-
bitch.
We are. I am. So what? If you want it, fucking pay us $5. Cough it up.